There it is. Yep. Because my head is looking a hot mess right now. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Shay, good morning. Ooh, head is looking a mess. I had to wrap my head up. Give me just a second, guys. We need to figure out how to fix the guest request so we can see. What do you mean? Yeah, my head is a mess too. But I got an appointment today, so we gonna get it situated today. Hold on, baby. It says message and then subscribe on the left. Well, yeah, that's for people that are not in the boxes. That's normal. Yeah, that's normal. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. I think that's just how TikTok is set up. Allow requests from followers. Okay. Hold on. I don't know how to turn that off. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to fix it now. Give me a second. Let's see what I can do. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. So the topic today is connection, attachments versus connection. Show available spots. The layout, okay. All right, I think we're good. Did it fix? Did it not fix? Let me know. Let's see. There we go. All right, we in the building. Likes is going up. Yeah, we in. Bree, hold on. I got you. Let me do something real quick. Loyalty. Oh, no switching sounds. So, I'm gonna have to unmod somebody. I do need to create some mod space. I haven't seen Mia more in here for a little bit, so I'm gonna remove her. No hard feelings. She don't really come into my life like that, so no hard feelings. Good morning. Bree, hold on, I got you right now. All right, we good to go. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, we had to get some things situated here. How's everybody doing? This is rude of me. Let me spit this gum out real quick. While we're chewing in your ears and whatnot. All right. We are here. What's going on, Stoner? What's going on? You got your book last night. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So this is gonna be an interesting one. It's gonna be an interesting one. We're gonna have a good live today. I got something for you guys. What's good, bro? How you feeling, bro? Thank you for coming in. So this is kind of last minute. Like the topic itself is last minute, but I feel like we can make it happen, right? We usually do. So we're gonna kind of piggyback. Me and Hormy go piggyback off each other. So it's gonna be attachment styles versus connections, and intrusive versus inclusive. So y'all know me with my games. Hi. I got something for y'all. Because I just can't help myself when it comes to the games. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here trying to get myself situated. I think we good. Okay. All right. So we've all know that we've been on the topic of attachment styles for pretty much the whole month. Thank you for the baby ghost. I appreciate you. So what have you guys learned so far within the month that we've had this conversation? Like, give me a little bit of something here. All right, bro. Let me know when you're ready to come up. Okay. Showing he's here. Okay, I'm confused. Why is it showing Amiga twice? No, okay.
Because I'm twice as nice.
Bars. My thing is tripping right now. I don't know what it is. It's showing that Bree's trying to come up. Bree, are you trying to come up? I don't know why. It's showing that you're in the guest box.
That's a mistake.
I want to test something. 'Cause I seen something the other day. And I found it pretty interesting. I don't know if I could fix that layout. I want to see how they put that layout together. Let's see. Was it this? So they did this. And they did... how did they fix that layout? They had this interesting layout. I seen somebody do it on their page. Oh, you know what? I think we did the double boxes. Sorry, guys. I'm just over here messing around with this thing. I'll figure it out eventually. But welcome in, my brother.
Hello.
How are you?
Everything is good.
Good. Pop and Block, I see you. So we've had a lot. I don't know if you guys go back and watch the lives that we post on YouTube. If you haven't, definitely go watch it, because a lot of the information that we're going to hear a lot of repeated information today, but you're also going to hear something new, right? And there's a reason for that, because we're going to, Coach Honey B, I see you. Good morning. So we're gonna create the understanding, right, and the comprehension between connections and attach. How did that happen? What just happened? I didn't even touch that. Who did that? What's going on over here? Hold on. Yeah, definitely got to subscribe to the YouTubes, because all of our replays go on YouTube. So if you haven't, I don't know, it just like switched the boxes out of nowhere. I didn't even touch anything, but you know, that's TikTok for you. You gotta love it. They're already messing with me, guys. They're already messing with me. But if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so. All right. and I think I fixed the guest box thing. So if you can, okay, real quick before we start, can everybody see the multi-guest button at the bottom? Is it showing now?
It says interact.
Okay. Well, that's for you, but I'm talking about for the people that are in chat. Okay. Cool. Okay. Because it wasn't showing before, so because I'm on my other page checking it. Cool. Cool. So before we even dive into it, huh?
I'm gonna start by sharing the live.
Cool. Yes. So if you guys please tap the screen, share the live. Let's get to like 60 shares if it's possible. Can I ask everybody how they're doing today? How was their week? How was their weekend? How's their weekend starting? How's everybody doing? Rate your mental 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I know I got to get better with doing that because I used to do it all the time. So rate your mental 1 to 10. We're going to get started soon. So let's see how everybody feeling. 8.5. I'm loving it.
Those people that are easily frustrated when they have a lot on their plates, we'll be talking to you today.
Ooh, not you calling people out.
Oh, definitely.
That's crazy. It's too early, sir. Don't we usually do that? We usually do that like on the low, and then they just feel it. Like you're just going straight for it, right?
First of all, if you have watched us at least 5 times, you should already getting your foot through the door. If you've watched us at least 10 times, you're ready to have both feet. If you watch us at least 15 times or at least a year's worth, you should be already through that door.
Absolutely. Listen, if you need him to talk to anybody, talk to one of us, let us know. Pop and block. I have no problem having a conversation with him to see where he's at. So just let me know. I don't have no problem having that conversation. Welcome in, Zai. Welcome in. Of course.
They're almost there.
So we the likes are going up. We're already at 3K. I'm here for it.
We need likes and shares, and this is not for us. This is for us to share with many different people. You never know who's out there. Everybody that we've met in the course of years, we were all strangers at one point.
Yes, absolutely. We were strangers at one point. I mean, 5 years later, we still cool. So we're going on 6.
We still cool,
right? We still cool. We rocking, right?
We still cool, bro. Come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? We still rocking. Still rocking like a pack of socks.
I got DNA family members that haven't lasted as long as we have.
Listen, facts. That's real shit, though. That's real shit. Good morning.
No one is immune to your standards and boundaries.
Welcome back, R&B Sona. Speaking of, because of you, me and Emmanuel are going on 1 year on Monday. Absolutely. It's our 1 year anniversary on Monday.
What?
Yep, 1 year anniversary on Monday.
I'm not even gonna ask what the plan is.
I mean, the same way. So we're doing our first date. It's gonna be a planned thing. So every year we're gonna go to where we went on our first date. So.
Okay.
So we did the Jack-o'-lantern spectacular that we have, like an event that they did over here. So we're going to that on Monday.
Okay. Revisit it. Why don't you?
I mean, hey, why not, right? We had a good time. I mean, it's interesting, too. So I might go live. We'll see what happens. Just to show you guys how it looks. I'll take pictures and show you guys how it looks. It's actually pretty dope. But where do we start? So should we do a recap real quick?
Let's do a recap, because remember that we were on attachments and then we added the connection versus connections.
Yeah, we added that towards last week's live. We kind of give a little bit.
That was like maybe a month ago that we started talking about attachments versus connections.
No. So, but I think we dived into it more last week than we did any other week.
We did touch it, We did touch it. I
Right.
just want
Allies and
to.
chicks.
The origin came from when we introduced attachment styles.
We did, because I remember Gumbo talking about it in the first live that we did. So I want everybody to understand there's a difference between attachments and connections. And sometimes what you guys believe is a connection is really an attachment. And what you guys believe is attachment, it's really a connection.
And if you don't treat it as such, you will get the opposite result.
Absolutely. And I want everybody to also keep in mind, and hear this one, I'm saying this with my whole chest. Keep in mind, just because you did that attachment style quiz, if you did the attachment style quiz, you're good, bro. Whenever you're ready, welcome in. If you did the attachment style quiz, right, and you were here last week when I did the attachment style game, okay, you understood that you don't just fall under one attachment style. You kind of touch into all of it, right? You kind of dabble into all 4 attachment styles if you were here for the game. Okay. I did post it on YouTube Tricks. So if you're following me on YouTube, go ahead and go watch that episode and try to get a better understanding, right? Once you leave here, if you have the time. I have another one for you guys today too, because now Amiga brought up the old inclusive versus intrusive, and I did a quick study on it while he gave it to me, and you guys know I love my games. I can't help it. I'm a gamer in real life, guys. If you guys don't know, I love video games. That's what I do. That's my thing. So I also love playing games and giving people games to play. So we got something called for later today. Are you inclusive or intrusive? You know what I'm saying? It keeps shutting off, but can somebody mute that, please? Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mute the tap.
It's going now. I gotta keep messing with it, but it's working. So we have the tapper going on over here just to test it out to see if it works. Yeah, I got a game for you guys. I got 2 of them actually. I got one that's called "Are You Intrusive or Inclusive," and the other one is "Are You Attached or Connected?" Are you attached or connected?
Give them the difference between attachment and connection.
So you want me to give them the actual definition, or you want me to kind of just give them?
Give them your version of attachment, and I'll give them my version of connection.
Okay. So for me, and I can yeah. If you want, I don't know where you're gonna connect it, but if you want, just come. Give me 1 second. 2 seconds. I'll be back.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, while you're waiting, this is a good time to stretch out. This is a good time to breathe. Put your hands above your head. Breathe in and open your arms. It's a good time to touch grass, even if it's cold. The colder, actually, the better, because it'll do something to your body to charge it.
Sorry, guys. I'm back. So, attached. So, as we've had this conversation for the last month about attachments, right? An attachment can stem from or be something that you are quote unquote, I'm trying to use my words very carefully here so I don't give too much away, right? Let's put it this way. Let's say that you are in a relationship that one serves you no purpose, right? Because I love using those relationships as an example, because that's most relationships, right? They serve you no purpose depending on where you are in your process of healing, right? And you say the quote in the word. I love saying the saying. You ready? You ready, Harmika? You ready? Because I don't like this saying, but I love when people say it, because it don't really mean nothing for real. I'll be there for you no matter what. Yeah, y'all have heard it before. Y'all not gonna act like y'all never heard it before. We've all heard it. We've heard people say it multiple times. Yo, what's good, fam? You know what I'm saying? I'll be there for you no matter what. You know, yeah. No, nobody's heard that. So y'all gonna act like y'all didn't hear that before?
They're probably the ones that say it.
Eh, right? Mm.
Okay.
So that level of attachment, that level of attachment is quote unquote unrealistic, right? But it is an attachment. Waiting on the package. Word. Damon, welcome in. Right. So I'm not gonna dive too much into it because if you've been here, you guys been paying attention to what we've been doing. Right. So I'm not gonna dive into too much of the attachment, but you'll hear more as we go. Right. So give them your understanding of connections. Don't go too crazy though. It's too early. It's too early.
A connection is positive.
Boom.
A connection is being on the same page, having a consensus. A lot of people don't like that word because I use it a lot.
Right. Morning.
And this is for the people that keep saying we agree to disagree. That is not looking for a connection. That is allowing what's happening to happen and getting past that storm so that you can say what you wanted to say. Here's the thing. I'm gonna just add one quick thing to attachment.
You don't want to go too deep.
Attachment is self-serving. An attachment is self-serving. It doesn't serve anything except yourself. We're not talking about the narcissist with the empath combination.
I wasn't gonna do it, but go
I
ahead.
have to say it because, by the way, you're like, yeah, man, that's the go-to word for everybody. But people need to up their vocabulary and understand that narcissism is not the only thing that's out there. There's multiple personalities. There's bipolar. There's a whole bunch of things going on. So the attachment is about sharing time and space, and it could also be based on infatuation. That's what people don't get.
And lust.
Well, infatuation, lust,
They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand.
They're cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's about spending time with a person, whether they want to or not, whether you're getting along or not, whether you have a consensus or not. That's an attachment. A connection is based on mutual interest. A connection is based on, all right, let's look at it like from an electrician point of view. You have amps, right? You have the positive, you have the negative. What happens when you cross the positive and the negative? You short circuit, right? So consider the attachment, right? The positive and the negative in this sense, because we're talking about grounding, right? In order for you to have a flow of electricity, you need to be grounded. Use that as an analogy for those that are electricians. You understand what I'm saying? What happens when you cross the wires? What happens when you don't have the right energy? It's too much, right? Or not enough to actually, for the light to shine bright. So think about that. It's a quality, right? It's quality versus quantity. An attachment is quantity of time. A connection is a quality and is a chemistry. When you connect with someone, you notice similarities and differences, and you don't change them. An attachment is forever changing to the benefit of the beneficiary.
Gotcha.
Not both people are receiving a benefit from an attachment. For those that are older and understand when people used to say, man, get off the jock strap or get off the bra strap, that could be signs of a attachment.
So real quick, can I have everybody tap the screen? Let's keep tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up. The more taps, the more likes we get, and the more shares we have, the more people come in. All right, I got you, bro. One second.
Shay, if your boyfriend is an electrician and he's around, have him explain to you a little bit about what a conductor is. You know, in order, there's metals that are conducive, and not all metals actually they conduce electricity. Some metals do not conduce electricity. Some metals are not adaptable to an electrical current. Not all metals can be the center point of a connection. So understand who your people are, understand who your person is, but make sure that you have a connection with yourself first. Let's start up with that one.
Good morning, Gumbo.
Mr.
Good
Gumbo.
morning.
Hey, this damn
Hey.
the mute button be pissing me off. It's got to be
Listen,
on the front screen, man.
I'm trying to tell you, we
We got
got
to talk to corporate or something.
We're gonna write
It
a
drives
memo
me
to
nuts.
HR.
Leaders in the building. Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hey,
Good morning,
Diamonds.
everybody.
Good morning, guys. So you guys know I'm all for the games, right? I love games. It's just what I do. So I have 2 games for you guys, and I would love if the coaches are available to come in the panel for this game, because I feel like giving people the understanding of these questions, and I think, yeah, giving the understanding of the questions that are going to be asked, kind of gives them a better perspective, right? So
Is this the best orientation for the live right now?
I'm trying to
And
figure out.
the only reason I say that is because you got on white in the comments. Wash out.
Right. So I'm trying to. So we're testing the tapper out. I don't know. I don't know. She needs to let me know if she can tap with the box is small or not.
Yeah, they say the tapper. If you put it on the high setting, it won't get them all. You got to put it on the lower setting.
You
So
got a
it's
lower
like
setting.
yeah,
Figure
you
it out.
can't. Yeah,
So babe,
you got to
kind of
figure out where the
adjust.
sweets. Yeah.
So adjust the sweet. Try to find the sweet spot in regards to the tapper to see what that works like. But we're trying to test it out to see how it works. Yeah, I tested it out on another live and it was pretty. It kind of worked pretty well. So let's see how that goes. But welcome in, guys. So how's everybody feeling? So we got 17 people in here. Reach our mental 1 to 10. You know what I'm saying? How was your weekend? How was everybody doing?
I'm a 9. I'm a 9 right now.
Right.
But the rest of the week before this, I was probably like a 6.
I'll say that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Because this week was a trying week.
Yeah.
This week was a trying week for sure. For sure. I'm at an 8 right now. Because I ain't eat nothing. So. I'm hungry. Just to be honest. Right?
So your attachment to food.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Can I do a segue analogy to piggyback off of what Hormiga was saying
Go for it.
about attachment and connection? This is just to grasp the widest net possible. Attachment is like going to the grocery store on an empty stomach, and that stomach been empty for like a whole week. You literally gonna grab whatever the hell you can to fill that need, and you will be attached to that food because you're starving, right? Connection is going to the grocery store with a full stomach, so you can make more informed decisions on what you actually need versus the cravings that you had for being hungry for a week and literally eating anything in your path. You will find something to eat. It just might not be good for you.
I feel attacked. I feel attacked. I'm feeling real attacked right now. I'm feeling real attacked right now. Okay.
Next time, BYOM. Bring your own.
Listen, I'm gonna learn how to mind my mental. How about that?
I'll give you a food that doesn't eat.
Listen. No, but that's facts though. That's a good way to put that together. I like that.
I like that. I like the empty stomach analogy.
Yeah, the empty stomach analogy is great.
Yeah, that empty stomach can really be a multitude of things like self-esteem. Just a little one, right? When you're low on the things that are supposed to keep you protected and strong and all of these other kind of things, you may pick something that you shouldn't pick.
Very much so.
Now, real quick, before we start going down the rabbit hole, we cannot read every attachment as a negative. Because
Absolutely.
pure attachment for a child tends to have greater emotional security and stability, and they are more likely to develop positive self-esteem, confidence, and resilience.
So lift your phone up a little bit because you sound muffled.
How about now?
Good.
You have to put bass in my voice at you guys or what? What is that?
You might have to.
You get excited and the little kid comes out on you like Mickey Mouse, you know?
But no, you're right though. There is good attachments, right? There is good attachments. We're not gonna say all attachments are bad, but
Hmm.
in order to understand there are good attachments, you gotta understand bad attachments, right? It's like understanding negative and positive. You gotta understand and experience the negative and the chaos to understand how important it is to have your peace and positivity, and then know to have a balance of the two.
The difference in a lot of cases
One of,
between quote unquote good and bad is the understanding of what it is.
mhm.
Right? Without the understanding, it's kind of let loose upon the world. But once you actually know what it is, you can understand how to move, in a better, more positive way.
Leave it right there. Leave it right there. You said, you see, the security of the attachment is important because why would you want to have a loose attachment? That means that
Secure.
it's not secure, it's not bonding. It's if you're not bonding and your connection is not secure, then it's an attachment, which is a catastrophe waiting to happen because it doesn't have a solid foundation or a great cohesiveness part. You know what I'm saying? So look at
Right.
it that way.
So can you guys? So I want to give everybody an understanding because I know we dived into the relationship last week. So I want to kind of keep going with that one because I thought that was dope. And a lot of the misguidedness that a lot of people have are within their relationship in regards to attachments and connections. Right? So let's try to keep that conversation. So what does that look like in regards to a relationship that is misguided between attachments and connections?
Let me give Gumbo alley real quick. You know how we always talk about being the present?
Hmm.
Okay. And we talk about pride and ego past, and anxiety is the future. And I will say this once a week, right? It's
Right.
important because it's all connected. Watch this. If you are attached to something, it keeps us in the past or the future. Longing for things to be final or permanent.
Okay.
Longing for things to be final or permanent. That's the connection. Connection, on the other hand, makes room for the unexpected. Connection is intimate, synced, vulnerable, and present. See what it has? It has a vulnerability to it.
Mm,
It has a synchronicity to it. It is intimate. Attachment, even though attachment, right? Attachment is stuck. It's not intimate because it's an obligation as opposed to a choice.
okay.
You like that one?
I like
You
that.
like that one?
That
Touche,
was
touche,
smooth.
Come up with
touche.
That
yours?
was
You like that?
smooth.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
That was smooth. I wasn't expecting him to take that route, but that was smooth. Go ahead, Gumbo.
It's funny when you texted me, you was like, Hormika has a twist on this. I'm like, when doesn't he? He-
Oh, nigga had a twin.
yeah, I always try to explain this dynamic in a way that feels a little more personal to people because it's also part of my story too about the anxious and the avoidant attachments,
Mm-hmm.
and how they almost always end up in relationship together even though it logically on paper wouldn't make sense
Right.
because the anxious is it needs a lot of reassurance, needs a lot of checks and balances to make sure that they're safe. And they tend to be clingy. They tend to be a little. I say what they we tend to be clingy. We tend to be very like anxiety when it comes to resolving things and making sure that things get handled. But it's not always for the relationship. To Hormiga's point, it's about me.
Right.
It's not that intimacy means that you're both understanding each other. But when you are moving in that energy of that anxiousness, you are trying to calm things for yourself by any means necessary.
True, true, true.
And the avoidant person, when things get a little too close, they tend to run or detach because
Right.
it's too much. So when you're in a relationship like this, you're going to have a lot of fights. Going to have a lot of fights because it's an opposing polarity. So then you think, well, why the hell would they be in a relationship together? I'm glad you asked. So if I am anxious and I'm looking to almost overdue, I want to make sure that you're, most of anxious people are fixers because fixing it gets to a solution where you feel at peace and not going anywhere, right? But the avoidant also wants love. So they're going to find someone who's extremely loving.
Ma'am, good
And
morning.
when they find that person, they don't realize that it might be a little bit too much for them.
True.
So then they kind of move a little away from it. But when they move away from it, guess what happens to the anxious person? The anxious person is like, oh my God, I got to chase them to get them back to where I need them. And then it's a push and pull because the avoidant still wants the love too. And then they're like, this relationship feels amazing. It feels good because that middle point where they meet is like heaven on earth until you get triggered.
Right. Right.
Until you get triggered. and until and until and until you figure out what those things are, it's always going to the triggers happen in the conflict. That's where the inner child comes out. And it's like, wait, you're leaving the room, i.e. leaving me. Let me chase you.
Right.
And the avoidant is like, why are you chasing me? I came over here so I could get some quiet, so I could get myself together. And it's like, no, you can't do that.
Appreciate you, coach.
I need you to fix it now. And they're like, wait, I need a moment. No, you don't. Because I don't need a moment. Why would you need a moment? If you're not going to handle it now, that means I'm not good enough. And then we play this game in our head,
Like, it's
and
like, it's
we
like,
get
it's like a game of cat
yeah,
and mouse.
yeah. It's like, yeah, it goes on until you either break up or you figure out how to move within the spaces, which means having understanding of who you are. That's why a lot of what we do in coaching is to try to figure out who you are, so that when you show up, you're like, yeah, I like, apples and you like this, but we like fruit, right? But if you don't know anything, you don't know that you like an apple, how the hell are you going to find a partner? You don't. You find attachment because you're in the grocery store hungry. And I land my plane.
Hey, that is wild. That is really wild. What I want people to understand is that one of the first questions, especially in relationship coaching, that a relationship coach should ask is, or to try to figure out,
Hey, Tony.
are you in a connection or are you in an attachment? It's a big, because if you don't notice that you're in an attachment, because most people that are connected don't need the therapy. If you're in a true connection, you don't need the therapy. If you're in an attachment, understand that there's a fine line between connect and attached, right? They both are connected or joined, right? But it's how that they are joined that makes the difference, because a connection is reciprocal. That means that they are connected to each other, mutually joined. An attachment implies that a secondary object is joined to a more important object. One more time. Connected to a more important, higher in value, offers more, is in a better place. People that don't want to do the work get attached to people that already did it so they don't have to do it. But people that have done the work will not respect people that do not do the work, because we can never be connected because you don't understand what it takes to go down that rabbit hole of emotions and visiting your child. So, for the lack of a better term, let's use this. If you have a home and you're selling your home and you decide to list the house, if you have a ceiling fan or something that was attached to the house, it is now offered in the house. If you didn't make any stipulations or you didn't make any clauses about something that is not attached to the house, that is now part of the house. If you don't remove that before you sell the house, it comes with the house because it is now considered an attachment.
Very much so. Very much so. Very much so.
Know the difference. Ask yourself, are you in it right now? If you're in a relationship right now, you're seeing someone. Ask yourself, are you most likely to go towards the attachment or are you most likely to go towards the connection?
And
You
that's
know,
just,
here's the funny thing. Most people don't know the answer to that.
I was about to say
Most
that.
people will not know the answer to that because the self-serving part of the need for attachment clouds your judgment. Why? Because it's attached to trauma. It's attached to things and experiences that you've had even before you met your person, and you don't even realize it. So when he when he asked that question, I was like, wait, when did I know this about myself? It took some time to figure it out because I'm so busy feeding the attachment. Well, worry about how my partner feels later. I need to I need to grab onto something to make me feel better. I don't even know that it's not the healthiest thing for me to do because it's a band-aid that I have to keep refilling. And if guess what happens? If you don't provide the band-aid for me, I'm gonna be mad at you. Because I chose you for a reason. Why aren't you living up to my expectation?
That's your job. Leave that job. That's your job.
Yeah, that's a you problem at that point.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
that you can't put that on the other person. You can't put that
But they
on.
do. I did it. It was done to me. And you know, it's funny. We do this to each other after we've decided to be in a relationship. After we've already said I love you and we did all the stuff, and then it's like, wait.
And the crazy thing is, a lot of people don't realize a lot of the stuff that they try to instill or put into play has nothing to do with the other person.
Nope.
It never
None.
does. It never does. And a lot of time we don't realize that, which is why when things fall short, you don't know to hold yourself accountable. You don't know to hold
Isn't that
yourself.
weird?
It's
It's not weird. It's weird, but it's so normalized that we don't even think it's weird.
right, right. Because it'll be like, oh my God, they did this to me, they did that to me, and then when you finally have that moment of self reflection and realize the whole time it wasn't them. I mean, I'm sure they had parts to play, but the vast majority of it wasn't them. It was what you already had created in your head that you thought made sense, but it didn't. And then you really applied it in real time, thinking that it made sense, but it didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want people to understand something. If you ever heard someone or you're the type to say, and your sentence starts with, I could never, all right, if that's you, I could never, that's exactly who you are. Because what you're trying to do is talk your way out of something that you are. You're trying to talk yourself out of an attachment to your character flaw, right? So you say, I could never, I would never. You have, and you will, and you still do, because most people that will not do that won't say it. They just won't do it.
Right.
Factual.
And I dysfunctionally, I have a ledger of people that said what they wasn't gonna do.
I'm never
Alleged.
gonna
Well,
do
no,
it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My ledger is like this big. Let me correct this one. The ledger is like this. It's a couple people in there like that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad that you cleaned that up. I was waiting. We were side eyeing you for a second. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
but seriously though, let's be clear.
Right.
Okay. To the topic of the show, and it'll make sense why I said that because
Okay.
I need to. This is recorded. so, but here's the thing: when I was obsessed with finding attachment, I only sought out people who also had issues. So those people will say what they would never do, and I would find them and I would exploit it and be like, "Nope, you really lying to yourself. I can see how you moving. It don't say the same thing that's coming out of your mouth. It's not true." And those would be the people that I would find because the barrier for entry was very non-existent. So that's why a lot of times when people need to shout stuff to Hormiga's point and they need to prove and hyper do, it's something else going in is going on in there.
Yeah, there's something else going on there in regards to that for sure.
Be
Absolutely.
careful. And I keep trying to tell people, It's not that I'm running out of things to say. It's that I have to repeat and rinse this in order for it to get into people's heads. If
No, true.
you do not keep your word, the universe does not take you seriously. So why the hell would the universe be like, let's give him another chance? No, he's not even giving himself another chance. She's not even giving herself another chance. The universe only works with those that have the right electricity, the right energy, the right wattage, the right ampage,
Mm-hmm.
the right connections.
The right
Because
the
you are
frequency is
attached.
important.
When you're attached, you are limiting the universe from getting involved. You are limiting the spiritual essence of energy to get involved because this attachment is prohibiting you from getting healthy connections. Because that attachment, you could be the one that's attached, the person could be attached to you, and you could both be attached to each other.
How about that?
Now we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because now no one's willing to go forward and say that they're attached. Now no one is willing to go. They're going to make it seem as though this is what it sounds like. Hey, how you and Sylvia doing? Oh, we great. We never have any problems.
Oh shit.
Oh, I heard. You know what I heard on one of these panels? Somebody say that they've been in a relationship for like 6 months and it was everything was perfect. We never argue. It's perfect. And I was like, perfect? Oh, something else. And as the live went on, she started telling us more, and we was like,
That don't sound
it's
perfect. to me.
not perfect. Like one of the things was, and this speaks to this topic too about being attached. It was good until they had fights, and when they would fight, she would leave for 3 days and come back. That's not perfect. And this story just kept going, and I was like, this isn't perfect, but to her,
It is.
if she ran from the conflict and the conflict didn't happen, then the relationship overall looks perfect to her.
It's a perception.
You get it?
It's a perception.
That's a function. That's a function.
Yeah.
But that kind of stems back to us telling everybody it falls under you, right? It falls under what you perceive and the things that you create in your head that you think is real, but it's not. You running from conflict don't mean the relationship is not falling short. Like that's not what that means. That just means you're avoiding something that should be talked about. You know what I'm saying? And it
Yes.
it happens more often, right? You see it happening a lot. Or this is a good one. You ready for this one? You ready for this one? They're arguing in front of everybody. Arguing in front of everybody. Always arguing in front of everybody. But yet on social media,
Yeah.
they look so cute together. They look so beautiful together. Oh, look at the connection that they got. Not knowing they're throwing knives at each other and all types of stuff over there. Like shooting daggers.
I wish somebody, of course, back in the olden days, I wish somebody would leave for 3 days with no contact. I wish you would. We're not playing these type of games. I know people need time to breathe before they come back. 3 days though,
3 days is wild.
I'm not gonna be available.
You know how many hours it is in a day? That's a lot of hours. So you tell me all them hours you didn't try to communicate, you didn't try to text, you didn't try to check in,
Nah,
none of that.
I need some time. I'll call you right before my birthday.
Oh, you're gonna come back with all your shit outside. That's what's going to happen.
yeah.
So here's the weird part. If you don't know the difference between attachment and connection, then you don't know what you're in. That's number one. All right. Number two, the reason why we do this is that you can understand on what side are you on. You know what I'm saying? We talked about addictions. We talked about habits. We talked about how the universe doesn't get involved, right? Because you're not in the right sense of connection. So why would you ignore this? Why would you say, you know what, I'm going to take a piece of what they said, but I'm not going to listen to the whole thing and let me see what happens? No, it's better for you to get as much information as possible. That way you can rule out the stuff that's not for you, because this is not for everybody. Everything I say here, it's not pinpointed to one person. These are all general statements that we're making that if you feel a certain way, you're not happy, you're not comfortable, things aren't working your way, the first thing we do is tell you to look at yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing that we tell you. Look at yourself first. What role have you played to the demise of the relationship? Because here's get ready, Gumbo. Here's this first slap in the face today. Huh. This, there's a lot of people that feel that they're in a good relationship and they're not even relating. How could you be in a relationship if you're not relating, you're not coexisting? You can't even occupy the same room for more than 15 minutes without having a disagreement. Some people have to disagree before they agree. Some people have to get agreement before they disagree. Again, the same thing between I'm going to knock you down before I build you up. I'm going to build you up before I knock you down. Intention. What is the other person's intention? The other person can say, hey, we're connected. And that happens a lot in the beginning of dates, right? Oh, we're connected. We flow.
I got something for you.
We're in the same frequency. We're in the same vibration, right? Gumbo, yeah, man, we vibe. How long you home? A whole 24 hours.
I got something for you.
Is it me or is this thing say pause?
It does
Is it
say
me?
pause.
Am I paused?
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on.
That means you on another app. You're cheating on it.
It went back again.
I see
You were there and then you went back off.
Okay, what about now?
I don't see you. I don't know about everybody else.
Can anybody else see me in the chat?
You did something before, and then your picture came up, and then you took it back out.
Am I good now? No?
Oh, they can see somebody. They can see you. As long as they can see you, we good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Can you see him? Can you see him, Omega? Yeah. So
No.
maybe it's just us up here.
So I flip my camera, flip it back. Okay. All right. So what I was gonna say is, think about those relationships, right? Or better yet, the why. We're gonna go into the why, and we all know the conversation of the why and how that works out. I got into this argument with him, and he said this, and this, and he did that, and I didn't like the fact that he did it. But what did you do? Well, that's not the point. No, it is. What did you do? What did you say? What part did you play into that argument? Well, that doesn't matter. It's the fact that he started arguing. No, it matters. Think about what you said that struck or that sparked that argument in that situation.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go down and come back up real quick because it's bothering me.
Hey,
Oh wait. There you are.
Okay, there you go.
Gumbo has the connection.
Right. But keep in mind, Cassie, your actions and the things that you say, you can't control the consequences of that. So if you say something to spark an argument in a relationship, and you guys start arguing, you can't control what comes after the spark.
Okay.
The only thing you can control is if you keep going with it. If you keep engaging in it, you can move out the way, but you already started it. You already sparked that flame. So depending on how long he wants to keep arguing or how long she wants to keep arguing, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's a matter of when they want to stop at that point.
I got, you know what? I got 3 things for that real quick. Number 1, the fool is not the one who says the foolish things. The fool is the one who entertains the foolish things. That's number 1.
Very much so.
People, I think it's time to get your pen and paper. The fool is not the fool that says foolish things. It is the person that entertains the foolishness. It is the person that argues with the fool. It is the person that allows and enables the fool to continue to be.
So Riz wrote, that doesn't mean they're responsible for the regulation of the reaction. No, they're not.
Oh, time out. Watch this. Here's another way of looking at this. Connection gives you power, right? If we're looking at it from the physical, electric, and spiritual and intellectual form, listen to this, even financially. A connection gives you power. An attachment drives the life out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attachment drives. So when you attach to someone, you put your happiness and desires in their hands.
Boom. There it is.
That
There
person,
it is.
that person now has to do things, and Gumbo said this already, right? That person now has to do things the way you want and
There it
say things the
is.
way that you want them to
Yes.
say it. For you to be happy, the person has to say things and do things the way you want them to. That's what an attachment looks like. Do you really want to be attached? Are you attached? Number three, there was a live the other day where there was a gender war, right? In this live, they were talking about when a woman asks a question, they usually already know the answer to it. Now let's judge the character on that. If I know the answer to something, I'm not going to test you to see if you would lie to me. I'm going to come straight up with it and say, I already know what's going on. What are we going to do to solve this? Because what you do is you put yourself in the position for conflict resolution. Ladies, ladies are not the only ones that do this, because men do this too.
Right.
We're not having the conversation about intuition and the parental ear. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this. If you already know the answer to something, are you looking to solve the problem? And that's not giving the man a pass. That's not giving a man a pass. Are you looking to solve this situation? Because by saying, hey, the other day, where were you on Friday at 7:30 at night? You understand what I'm saying? Because what you're doing is having a man fight from the bottom. Give a man a fair chance to explain himself, because there could be a logical answer. I'm not saying that, maybe more than not, it is not a logical answer. It's not a good answer. But what you don't want to do is give someone three fights, right? Instead of dealing with what the problem is at hand, because now you're asking someone to do something that's impossible. There's no answer after that. Am I right or wrong, Gumbo? Once somebody gets put in the corner and they say, again, woman, if you already know the answer, that's nothing to be proud of. If that's how you lead conflict resolution, if the way you lead conflict resolution is by you already know what the answer is, but you're testing someone, is
Ooh,
that
the
a
test.
connection or is that an attachment?
Those tests. Let me tell you something. Let me put a disclaimer out here, because I feel some people shaking right now. Wait.
I'm
Nobody.
saying I said it.
I feel some people shaking. But look, the reason why I say that is, so we're not saying that the person did or did not do anything egregious to the relationship, right? What we're talking about is how you go about resolving the thing that happened, right? A lot of times you will have a preconceived answer, and then you will test them to see if they follow the way that and if they don't, then what you've done is whatever the anger you had, now it's double and triple and quadruple, because they did the thing and they didn't pass the test the way. So it's like the guy could say, in this scenario, he could say, yeah, I apologize for, whatever it is, this thing. And then you be like, but you didn't say I'm sorry. You said I apologize. So now it's worse. And it's like, and then you're like, it's the same thing. And then, no, you didn't say it the way that I needed to hear it. So now,
Listen.
then it's like 10 times worse now. And it's like, how did we get here? We was talking about this, and now we talk about words. I'm sorry. I heard this on the internet. I don't know anything about this. I heard it before.
At this point, I'll just pull a Riz. I love bacon.
What else can you say? What else?
I just pull a Riz. I love bacon. I love bacon. Like, just keep it moving.
This is where that problem starts, Gumbo. That problem is, I lied to you so I wouldn't
I
hurt
love
you.
lamps.
I lied to you because you can't handle the truth. I lied, and now you get all the different reasons why a person lied to you, but you should have never put them in that position in the first place. Don't waste your arguments. Don't waste your defense. Don't waste any of those things on something that you already have a preconceived thought. Like Gumbo said, don't waste it on that. Men, you're not as free about this either. Some men have this tendency to do the same thing. They know the answer, but they test them because they want to have one up on you. They want to have they want to pull that card out, that get out of jail free card, or that, hey, wait a minute, we had this argument before, but it wasn't the same thing. Oh, yes, it was.
You ready for this? I don't like that we're doing this right now, but we have to do this. We have to do this. Okay. So think about it. Think about it in this aspect, right? And I want to choose my words wisely because I just like Gumbo, I can feel some people shaking in the chat. And the people on the FYP.
Guilty.
I promise you, we do love you guys. We got to tell you guys the truth, okay? A lot of y'all don't handle the truth very well. I'm sorry, I have to do it. You guys opened up the door. So we're gonna take it there. All right, we're gonna take it there. A lot of y'all don't handle the truth very well. Okay, you guys would want the truth. Okay, the truth sounds good until it's given, and then you don't like the response that's given. Whether it's the tone, right? Whether it's the verbiage, no matter what it is, right? If it's given and you ask for it, you do not dictate how it's given.
That's an attachment. That's an attachment.
Run with me on this. Run with me on this, right? And Gumbo knows exactly what I'm talking about when I'm saying this. Mm-hmm. You cannot dictate the way that the truth is given. You're gonna have to take it or leave it.
Don't pew pew the messenger? Is that a don't pew pew the messenger kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I said I know people are not gonna like this response, so that's why I'm just like, let me choose my words wisely because I could have gave it to you raw, and it would have really been all wrong. But I wanted to choose my words wisely. So,
yeah, the next thing I'm going to say is very tongue in cheek. So you can take it literally, but just pretend that I'm not the messenger. whatever clash out ladies take, where they tell y'all to say, just be honest with me and everything will be fine. Y'all need to get y'all money back because it ain't really true.
That came from the clearance rack. There's no return from the clearance rack.
It's not true. It's not going to be fine. It's so not going to be fine. It's not, and y'all know it.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. You can't have a connection, a genuine connection. You can't have it without honesty. You can't have it without transparency. You can't have it without being genuine or without being full disclosure. You can't have a real connection unless the connection is pure.
Lomax in the building. What's going on, brother Lomax?
Connections are pure. Attachments are everything else.
Good morning. I mean, we're laughing, right, and making light of this, but it rings true. It rings true. Okay, all of this is what we're saying is true. I don't know who created that trend, Gumbo, but I think it needs to stop.
I have never gotten a positive reaction from that question.
Never.
I'm like, okay, all right. Here's the truth. This is blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, okay. So now right. I can really tell you how.
Well, like you got to put a disclaimer out there if you're gonna ask for the truth, because then we got to know your emotional levels. Cassie, we'll let you up at 10:30, and we're gonna let everybody up at 10:30. So you guys stick around. We gotta ask you where your emotional control is. We gotta know these things, because when we tell you the truth, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It really is. I'm a truth teller. I can't help it. No matter who I talk to. No, you're good. You're good, Cassie. You're good. Just stick around, guys. If y'all just stick around though. If you guys do want to come up.
Yeah, but let me ask you a quick question and try to make a connection to this, right?
Okay.
Is it possible that the truth only hurts when you're expecting something else?
No,
There you go. There you go.
I don't truly
Listen
believe
to the
that. I
question.
got you. I
Listen
got
to
you,
the
Venus.
question. Listen to the question. Listen to the question. Could it be that the truth hurts when you were expecting something else?
I mean, once you create that thought process in your head, maybe if you have that thought process already in your head on how it's supposed to be responded or how it's supposed to be communicated, hell yeah, that shit gonna hurt.
Yeah,
It's gonna
that's
hurt
what he's
like,
talking
that's
about.
gonna hurt like a mofo.
What I'm saying is try to register where the actual disappointment happens when the truth is said. Try to pinpoint where that disappointment really lies when the truth is presented to you. Is it because you thought something else? Is it because you're upset because you didn't know you thought you should have, that you were entitled to have that information? Does it defy your morals, your character, your ethics?
Is there all of the above?
It's whatever you want it to be. I'm giving you a. This is not a. This is not a. This is not a. What do you call those type of questions?
Multiple choice?
Yeah, it's not a multiple choice. This is trying to figure out where you at with the truth. Like what is it about the truth that rubs you the wrong way? Because there is no truth A and truth B. The
Welcome to
truth,
Z Rising.
right? The truth is honesty, right? So there is no back door to honesty. People keep thinking that there's levels to honesty. There isn't. You're either honest or you're not.
Right.
So what I'm saying is where does the possible disconnection happen? Where does the disappointment lie when you hear the truth? What is it about the truth that bothers people? Because I don't think it's the same thing.
I don't know if it's the truth itself that bothers people. I think it's a lot of the times people don't like to self reflect. I think that's the biggest issue. The biggest issue is when people tell the truth, you're not only looking at the truth of what they're saying, you have to look at yourself in that process. And when people, even though people will not admit it, right? When they're in an argument and then they ask for the truth, it stings. Like a switch goes off, right? And then now they have to think about themselves in that process, right? But they won't vocalize it.
All right.
They'll still try to keep attacking that person. They'll still try to keep going with that person and trying to put the blame on that person, right? In that argument. But when that moment comes where it switches, right? They have that switch in their head that goes off after they heard something. Then they'll be like, damn, am I the one doing that shit? Like, like am I the one causing these problems?
The truth hurts
It does. Very
when
much so.
when your not perspective, when your perception is challenged. And I'm going to explain this, right? It ain't just about you. Because if you tell me that Gumbo is an undercover flasher, you understand what I'm saying? Then it's up to me to be disappointed because I thought something different from Gumbo. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Who knows if I like flashing? Who knows if I don't like flashing? But it's not until you reveal this new information that challenges us. It's not always about us. Because you could be. How many times, especially on TikTok, that you had a feeling about somebody, and that somebody ended up being exactly what you thought they were?
Mm-hmm.
Mad at you because you revealed it early and they couldn't.
Oh, that's good.
Can I put an extra what do they call them little the chocolate thing that they put on the top of desserts? The chocolate chip on top of the cookie.
Go ahead.
So, and I have a disclaimer: we are not advocating for lying,
Hold on.
but imagine a world where the person who lies is created because they saw how you reacted to the truth.
Ooh.
So now they're like, I don't know if I should. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it happens.
Venus, we gotta hear from you after that one. Go ahead, sis.
You came at the right time, Venus.
Yeah, that's the perfect time for Venus to come in.
Save the day, please.
Wait, I actually want him to say that again. That was deep. That was dope and deep.
That was a good one.
The person who lies sometimes is created because they saw how you react to the truth. And then they don't feel safe to be honest because the visceral reaction to the truth, which may come from somewhere else within you, then triggered them to be afraid to engage you in that way. And again, I am not condoning it. I'm just saying it happens.
Just not a safe place. That's all.
That sounds like a married man.
Now, hold on, hold on.
Yo, somebody wrote that in the chat.
Venus, I got you. It is not a safe.
Oh, but I am. I'm sorry.
It's
It
not
happens.
it's not a safe place to lie.
It's, you know, what Gumbo said is absolutely correct. And for me, I love coming from a perspective of duality, right? Because there's so many variables, and that actually happens. People will omit the truth if they feel unsafe for them to expose themselves. So is it really quote unquote wrong for them to do so? Or if you even take it a step further, when you have great experiences in that, like people's reactions to the truth, especially when you care about them, there are certain things that you will refrain from saying, or you will omit, and you will bend it in a way that is palatable for the person. It doesn't mean that they're outright, you're lying to me. Like, you have to consider the different variables, because that absolutely happens.
It does. It does. When, like Cassie says, if you don't feel safe to tell the truth within your relationship, there should be no reason for the relationship itself. Honestly,
And
Absolutely. And then
logically, yes.
and then there's
logically, right,
alignment.
right.
Logically, yes.
I'm gonna call bullshit on this one.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Um,
hold on before you say that cold bullshit. I'm waiting for Omega. And there's also the consideration of alignment, right? You can have the truth in you, and you can disseminate the truth. However, when you're not in alignment for that fact or that truth to be disseminated, you can hurt the person or hurt yourself more than you are helping them or helping yourself. So you also have to consider that fact. So some cases, it's not that you're omitting the truth. You're not in, or they're not in alignment at that point to receive the absolute truth, no matter which way it's put towards them. So there's a lot of things to consider when we're thinking about these things.
all right, so I'm not saying that anyone on this panel is bullshit, and I'm not saying that anybody in the comments is bullshit. What I'm saying is, you can't say that a relationship is over when it never was.
Ooh, damn.
Think about this. If you think that you're in a relationship because you know somebody, you think you're in a relationship because you go out, you think you're in a relationship because you could even live together, you pay bills together, you do this, you do that, you could do all those things. That doesn't mean that you're in a relationship, because if you're not relating and your foundation was not a place where you could be honest and transparent, it never was.
Guys are roommates.
Yeah, that's why I said the statement makes sense logically, but in practice, it probably is most likely never going to end the relationship in the way that we think. A lot of people are still together 20 years later, and that particular thing probably started in year one. So,
Correct.
If
but
you're
then,
if
but
you're
then
still
that's,
dealing,
but
no, if you're still dealing with stuff in year 5, from things
say it
that
again.
if you're still dealing with things in year 5
Yeah,
that should have been set from year 1 or month 1, think about it. What are we doing?
but no, listen. You know what we're doing? We're attaching.
Ooh,
It's an attachment. That's why we don't leave.
ouch.
So we come around full circle. Why are you really there? That question will explain a lot of torment and dysfunction and toxicity in most people. Why are you really there? And sometimes people can't answer that because it goes deeper than just what you currently know, your understanding, right?
Yay.
You may not even functionally know the full why, but there is an origin story to why you picked that person, and it goes back further than the day you met them, right? So a lot of times when we defer what we should do against what feels right or what's comfortable or what we're used to, we normally pick comfort. But
Hmm.
dysfunctionally so, though, right? Because then it becomes what is defined as comfort for you. Comfort may
Right.
mean fighting every day because that's all you know, right? So we have to really look at in context what's the healthiest thing for us. And a lot of us don't. That's why we wouldn't be coaches because you got to sometimes somebody outside of you got to say, wait, that's what that doesn't make sense. Your mouth is saying this, but you still stayed, and it won't make logic because logic isn't present when you're dealing with stuff.
Venus, real quick. What's your take? What's your take on that question? You ask somebody that, or have people ask themselves that: Are you in a connection or are you in an attachment?
Say the question again.
Are you in to ask someone like, let's say, right now we're telling everybody try to figure out the distinction between attachment and connection. Is that a good question to ask somebody when you first start coaching them?
First, I would ask their perspective on what attachment and connection is, because whatever I say to them, it won't really be helpful if they have a different interpretation of that. So, based upon their interpretation and how they perceive what connection is and what attachment is, that's first. And then I'll go into sharing a different perspective just so they can better self reflect on what it is. And then it'll help them be able to determine where they can identify with if they are indeed attached or connected in the various forms that we're attached and connected with. Everyone has a very different perspective on what things are. And so, as coaches and mentors and educators, that is always a very important factor to gain a deeper understanding of what people say, or should I say, comprehend. Because a lot of things can get misinterpreted because we comprehend things very different. Our comprehension styles are very different. So just going off of hearing someone say that and me responding will be very unwise of me if I don't first know their interpretation or perception of what these things are. Because
Okay.
I
both
agree.
can,
I agree. 100%.
All right, now watch this, Venus. I'm your client.
okay.
I'm your client. And we have that discussion. Now, I talked about what I think attachment and connections are, right? And we're okay with that. But then I come and I tell you, but I've also heard, and I'm a firm believer that it's better to be with the devil you do, that you know, than the devil you don't.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. And so you're as if you were my mentee, what would be the question prior to that? Are you seeking to resolve that, or are you seeking to get a better understanding of why you do it? That's number one. Do you want to know why you would rather choose the devil you know versus the devil you don't? Or you just want to gain a deeper understanding or resolve it?
What does that tell you about me if I tell you that? Because if I, at first glance, if somebody tells me it's better to be with the devil you do know than you don't, is that you do not trust what's behind door number two, that you'd rather stay with where you're at because you know the situation, regardless if you're comfortable or an advocate of this relationship. I'd still rather be in this because I know how this functions.
I would go back to and add to what Gumbo said in the beginning. Coach D said, not in the beginning, but at some point, he says people are going to choose according to their comfortable level, their comfortability level, and
That part.
so whether that comfortability level is in pain, that's what they'll choose. Even though on the other side of that, it may be something that gives them less pain. You're always going to psychologically conform to what's more comfortable for you. So that type of individual, I can already tell and assess that that individual isn't quite ready for growth. That individual is still suffering from some form of trauma bond, right?
Yeah.
That sort of
Yeah.
individual is kind of stuck in have become desensitized to people treating them poorly or themselves treating them poorly. So that says a lot. If that was that person's response, that says a lot about that person. And those are the things that it's like easily accessible for me to be able to quote unquote assess where they are. And so depending on whether they want a solution, I will go forward. But if that's what they want to be in, stay in, I would not offer a solution because
So,
eventually
thank you so
they
much.
have to be willing and they have to be open. So my thing is, I'm not going to force, I'm going to flow. And people, if you allow them to talk and if you're really good at what you do, you can use your wisdom and discernment to know. And there we go back to that thing. Some people are not just ready for the absolute truth, and you have to be okay with that. It doesn't mean that I'm a liar because I'm not telling them the truth that they need to know. I am sparing them and not telling the truth that they need to know because they are not ready to know that type of truth, and that's okay as well.
Boom.
The coaches are over here like, yes, yeah.
You know what? Do this. I rarely do this. Thank you for jumping on that opportunity. I put you on the spot. You did an excellent job. You said exactly what
I
needed
love
to
it.
be said. So, kudos to you, young
Hold
lady.
on. Let me give
And
her flowers real quick.
yeah, go ahead,
Ready?
please.
Ready? Cause you killed that. That was amazing. Cause I'm just sitting here like, is she gonna say it? Is she gonna say it?
Ashe, Ashe.
That was great. That was
But
great.
but here's the thing, right? Here's the flip side to that. The person who comes to her saying those words, but then in turn says, "But I want to be better and do better." Then she falls into the category of a person who can now be coached into mastering themselves,
Yes.
into becoming more confident, into all of the things that we all kind of touch on.
Appreciate the gifts,
Because
guys.
when we hear this all the time, I'm afraid to date. I'm afraid I might as well just stick with what I know, or I'm gonna do this behavior that I'm used to doing because I'm afraid. And what it's really saying is you don't trust yourself enough to safeguard yourself around things that don't feel right.
Right.
You're so used to diving in that you think that they can come in and make you do something you don't want to do. And that's scary because the boundaries are missing. So and a lot of a lot of other things that need to be worked on. But until you accept the fact that you need to become a better version of yourself in order for you to get to your goals, you're gonna always repeat the cycle. And I think internally we know this. And that's why we stay to the with the dysfunction, because we like, if I gotta work on myself, I might as well just stay here.
Mhm.
That word
Stop doing
trust.
that. Stop
That,
doing
So
that.
that word
I'm
trust is one of the most important logistics in attachment versus connection. It is your level of self trust that is the key to this.
I'm gonna give everybody something though, right? And and this is what this looks like, right? For the people that don't want to leave, right? And they want to stay within the chaos of what they consider a relationship. When that one person that actually wants to heal and they start to heal, but the spouse doesn't want to heal, or the other partner doesn't want to heal, you're gonna start to regret that whole relationship while you within that relationship. You're gonna start to question why you're still there. You're gonna question why is this person still in my space? Once you really start to know yourself. And it's gonna sound very raw, right? When you start thinking about these things, but it's necessary, right? And I'm gonna give you the reason why I said that. The first person I've ever spoken to in regards to like really teaching them something was a young lady on here. I wasn't even supposed to go live that day, and I ended up going live because she wanted to talk. So, but I thought it was a teaching moment for everybody. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's go live and let's have the conversation live. We go have the conversation live, and she tells me about the relationship that she's in, right? There was a time gap between 6 months between the relationship that she's in now and the relationship that she was previously in. Now, for the coaches, For us coaches, we know that is not enough time to kind of navigate through these things, right? If anybody's my moderator, can you let T up?
I got her.
Appreciate you, bro. So for the coaches, we know that's not enough time to really navigate the pain, the things that you dealt with, whether it was a traumatic relationship or anything like that. It's not enough time to navigate through that for you to jump into a relationship 6 months later. So she did the same thing that I told we all don't like hearing. I will be there for you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
She said those phrases. Okay. Now, what she didn't know was she jumped into a relationship with somebody that, quote unquote, did not want to work on himself. Didn't think he needed to work on himself. He thought he was fine. He was okay with the fact that he had trauma. He was good navigating through life that way. Okay. She came to me and messaged me and was like, I need help. I was like, I don't know what to do. He does not want to work on himself. I said, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to make that decision. If you are indeed working on yourself and doing the things for you that you need to do, you're going to end up leaving that relationship. You're not going to want to be with him after you really start focusing on you, right? 2 months later, and I shit you not, this happened in real time. I get a message from her and said I broke up with him.
Ooh.
But here's the double down. Ready?
Go for
You
it.
will leave the relationship, and sometimes it's not physically. Sometimes it's just it'll be in your mind, but you'll physically still stay there, but you'll be detached. It has to happen because the alignment is now off for whatever that alignment was, because that alignment initially was a trauma. It was a trauma bond because you left the relationship and then you chose to be in something that probably would be patently worse because you now need to attach to, at this point, anything.
Right.
And so you're going to bypass all the stuff that I already knew that he was dealing with trauma. And now, who chooses this up front? Like who would logically pay attention to my words? Who would logically pick this up front?
Right.
That means logic wasn't present.
I'm not gonna answer that.
Absolutely.
I'm leaving that alone.
Here's another thing that I would encourage us to think about when it comes to attachments and connections. And first, know that both of those can be interchangeable. But what I want to say on a deeper level, just because you detach or disconnect from someone physically does not and will not ever mean that you detach and disconnect from that person spiritually and energetically.
Ooh.
And so when it's advised to you to take the quote unquote time, not meaning duration of time, take the time for you to really get the mentoring so you can better understand that every time you allow someone in your vortex, every time you exchange anything, there's always an energetic connection, that you are still tied, you are still connected to that person's in more ways than you think. So a lot of us tend to think just because, oh, I don't go with you no more. You don't go with me no more. I'm not calling you no more. Please understand that you are still connected to that person. And oftentimes that manifests in very different ways, which continually leads to you not having clarity, you still being dysfunctional, you still being unhealed and unhinged, you still not knowing why you up and down, up and down. One minute you cry, you like, where is this coming from? Yes, that's because the detachment, being truly attached or
What's
disconnected
going
from
on, Amber?
someone, it requires way more than you just saying we don't go together no more. That's not how it works. And that is the dangers of you succumbing to your insecurities, your fears, your complacencies, your quick fixing, doing things just to do them, and you do not understand the severity of how that's going to affect not only you but your loved ones.
So since we're on this deeper
Facts.
topic, right? Let's do this. So for the people that say body counts don't matter, it does.
And it
So
goes way deeper than the bedroom activity.
Yes.
I'm just saying, and I'm just saying, for the people that say that the body counts don't matter, it does. You know what that is called? Soul ties. You're welcome. You're
But
welcome.
I can see how people get confused and annoyed with that because most
Of course.
unintelligent, misguided, misinformed individuals, when they speak of body count, they have no idea what they're speaking about.
They
And
don't.
so, yes, it leaves the
I got you
misguided
there.
interpretation that, oh, why does it matter how many people I slept with? Because in the responses is always, no man want a woman who blah, blah, blah. No woman want a man who blah. That's all surface level shit.
Yep.
It truly is.
We
It's
go. We go on the
surface level.
deeper. We go on the deeper level, guys. Over here.
Right.
Over. Always.
Uh, yeah, look, really quickly, if you don't believe that you take something with you in a relationship, think about that time that the wrong song came on the radio, that the wrong song came on the playlist that reminds you of that person, and how in the beginning you're like, that's my joint, that's my song. Oh, then you start singing it, and then in the third bar, it's when the tears start coming out. The third bar is like, damn, why did that happen? What did I do?
Adori, I see you.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so think about, and here's the thing that people get it twisted real quick, right? When it comes to attachments and connections, right? When you say he's the one, she's the one, what are you saying? Are you saying that they're the one that's going to tolerate your bullshit? Or are you saying that they're the ones that's not going to tolerate your bullshit and hold you accountable?
Oh, well, damn.
I'm just saying. Most people say, he understands me. She understands me. He creates a space for me to be myself. He allows me to be me.
Isn't that enabling?
That's what it sounded like
It
to
could be,
me.
yeah.
It depends because if that comment is utilized to create a connection, then we're on the good place. But if that is created to create a attachment or to facilitate an attachment, you're going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a quick commercial break. Go ahead, babe.
So I did this the other night in Venus is Live, and I like the way it worked out. If you are taking in all of this information and you are really learning something here, I'd like everybody to put a 1 in the chat.
Ashe.
You're absorbing this information. You are listening to what these coaches are saying, and you are relating to everything that they're saying, or you're learning something from what they're saying. Please put a 1 in the chat.
All right.
See all
So
those ones. I love it. I love to hear it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. If you would like more information like this, please put a 2 in the chat. Again, if you would like more information about this, please put a 2 in the chat. Love to see all these 2s.
Love it, love it, love it.
If you want to get more information like this and information from all of these coaches, I highly suggest that you join the Mind Your Mental Discord. Mind Your Mental Discord is made up of 7 different aspects of mental health where you can access this type of information on a daily basis. Why? Because mental health is not just a 3-hour live on a Saturday, or a 1-hour live on a Tuesday, or a 1-hour live on a Thursday, or a 1-hour live sporadically. It is 7 days a week. So if you want to access information about self-discipline and awareness and transition and healing in relationships and self-mastery and nutrition and holistic healing, I think that's all 7. I think I got them all in one shot. I'm proud of myself. If you want to access all 7 of those aspects, guess what? We have a whole Discord that you can do that. a whole Discord that provides information on every single one of those aspects of your mental health. And guess what? Even better than that, it's free. The Discord's absolutely free 99. Not saying that these coaches give away all their gems for free, because there's I'm gonna back up and say, but hold on, there's more. Not all these coaches give away all of their gems for free, but there's a good amount of information that they will guide you on to get you to the place where you need to go and achieve the next level. When you get to that point where you feel like you need to achieve the next level, they have master classes, they have workshops, they have books, they have ebooks, they have all of these things that can be accessible to you. So if you would like to join the Discord, please let us know in the chat. Put a 3 in the chat if you are not currently part of the Discord and you would like to join the Discord. Again, the Discord is free, but you have access to 7 different people that handle aspects of mental health. Silent, we got you. So Silent, when you go into Coach Emmanuel's bio or Coach Gumbo's bio or Self Mastery bio, you have to download the Discord first. Discord is an app in your app store. When you download the Discord app, there is then another part there, and I'm trying to refrain from saying the L word, and it's not love, it's a different one. There is another box there that says Mind Your Mental Community. When you click on Mind Your Mental Community and you copy and paste that to your browser, you are going to get into the community. If you cannot figure it out, hi, I'm your technical director. I will be more than happy to assist you. Any of these beautiful people up here on this panel will be happy to assist you. Any of our coaches that are in the chat will be happy to assist you. Check on your strong friends every day. There's a chat constantly going, checking on our strong friends, making sure everybody's good. So again, if you are not already a part of the Discord and you would like to be, please let us know. We will get you in there. It is free 99 to join the Discord. Free 99. Again, click on the Discord to download it from the App Store, and then click on Join the Growing Community to actually join the Mind Your Mental community. It's that simple. I want to say shout out to all of our people in the Discord. If you are already part of the Discord, can you put a 1 in the chat for me? If you are part of the Discord already, can you put a 1 in the chat for me? I want to show everybody where our Discord fam is at. Look at all these 1s. If you were part of the Discord already, please put a 1 in the chat. Look at all these people. We have over 135 members of the Discord already. Over 135 members. There's things happening in there on a daily basis. You have access to private Q&As with Coach Gumbo. You have access to All Things Mastery, private Q&A with Venus. We have a check-in that we do on Sundays to talk about the live and recap it and ask questions. We have also challenged all of the people in the Discord to create a 2025 vision board for 7 aspects of your mental health. And all of those aspects are everything that all of these coaches are talking about right now or do talk about in their lives. So if you want to get on that, let us know. We're here.
So one of the things too that's really really important is the growth that we see in everybody, right? The growth that we've seen in a lot of the OGs that are there, and I want to give you guys your shout out: Lala, PBR, Frosty. I haven't seen Keisha, but she's done a lot of growth. When the first time I even interacted with her, all of them are still here, right? They didn't just get what they needed and left. They're still here, right? And even with being here, they show so much love to the people that come in. Like they're usually the first people to comment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're the first people to comment. All the OGs that do like, welcome to the community, welcome to the family. They're the first people to comment. That's kind of shows you the type of love that comes within the community, right? Not just from us coaches, but for the people that are within the community. They show love. Imagine hearing or seeing good morning every time you come in. A lot of us don't even get that throughout our days. We don't even get that good morning, and that good morning feels amazing. So think about it that way. You know what I'm saying? We don't really get that. So getting that good morning in the beginning of your day, or if you're going through something and you want a little bit of that prayer and that blessing from people, trust me, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. So I'm excited to see more people join. I'm excited to see how we're growing. 2025 is going to be a great year for us in the community. So let's continue to be the better version of yourselves, guys. You know what I'm saying? And then Riz with his good morning, the beautiful magical people. You know what I'm saying? He does a good morning voice chat for everybody, the voice note for everybody. So you get a lot. You get a lot in there, man. Get a little bit of a lot. And the people that love art, we got an art section. For people that love music, we got a song and playlist section. We got a lot of stuff in there, guys. It's not just a 3 hour live or 1 hour live per day. It's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You know. Go ahead, Gumbo. 'Cause I know you want to say something.
Yes, I do. No, so here's the thing, right? Let me just say this, because we all champion this community every time we open our mouths, and it's a testament. It's a testament to the connection that we all feel when we're in this community. And I always like to speak for the folks that live their lives feeling disconnected, because I am you, right? So finding this community, it's a lot more than just joining another group. It feels different. There are people that are in here right now that have shared things that they would have never said outside, because there's safety, there's non-judgment, there's comfort, but it's not always super comfortable, because we're going to stretch you
Right.
to become something better. But it's a safe space. And these words are used a lot on this app, and they don't really mean it. It really feels this way here. So join the community and just feel it out. Like, and it's the price you guys love so much. So you might as well just come in. It's
$3.99.
free.
Listen, and just to give you guys a piggyback on why the guidelines are there, right? The guidelines are there to protect the community. So we put the guidelines in place of the community in the Discord for the community to be protected, right? Because I would never want somebody to post something or say something and to feel like they can't express themselves the way that they should express themselves. So if you guys want to come up, send a request. We'll get you guys up. Because I actually want the boxes to be filled for what I'm about to do next. So if you guys want to definitely come up, come up. If you have any questions, please have questions pertaining to the live itself. If you want to come up and ask questions, definitely got your time to be in the building. I see you. Riz, if you're available, definitely come up, brother man. But it's important to have unfortunately, to have rules and regulations to these things, right? Because we don't want anybody to come in and think that they're not safe or they're not protected with something that they say in regards to the community. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate the fact that you guys are very mature within this community, even though we have our days where we banter and joke around. But as far as protecting everybody's peace and protecting everybody's, voice when they have it in there, and nobody's really attacking anybody or giving anybody any shade or anything like that, I do appreciate that you guys are really doing it as adults. You guys are truly amazing in regards to that, and I thank you.
We definitely have our sincere, immature moments.
Of course, that's just part of it, right? Like we gotta embrace the inner child sometimes. Like,
Yes,
it is what it is.
that part is you get so many beautiful mixes. Like it's not all serious. It's a healthy harmony with all aspects. It's really, really beautiful.
And I love every
Childish?
second of it.
Childish? Me? Never.
Yeah, I must have missed those points.
I think that's what makes it great, though, is it reminds all of the people that are in there that all the coaches and mentors are human. They're not just here to constantly teach you something. They're human. They go through these things. They've experienced these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're here to have fun too, guys. Like it's not all about the seriousness. We just want you guys to understand the human experience is very important on top of the process of healing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta appreciate the human experience.
Before you get crazy and do what you're gonna do, I just want to make a quick point, right? On the most simplest level, an attachment is something that's on the surface. It's usually driven by something on the surface or superficial. A connection is a deeper core. And in an attachment, you're afraid that you can't be yourself and you're going to push the person away. In a connection, you're never afraid that you're going to either get pushed or you're going to push the other person away.
Okay, so keep in mind, right, what I'm about to do, even if you are not in a relationship, right, you can still answer these questions pertaining to how you would respond in regards to these, okay? You don't have to be in a relationship to answer these questions. Just wanted to give that disclaimer out there, right? For people to be like, I'm not in a relationship. I get it. This is not pertaining to this is not pertaining to the relationship itself. It's pertaining to you, how you respond. Just keep in mind. Because we know everything around here, we focus on self. I say this all the time. When you're here, we're focusing on self. We're not focusing on anything else. We're not focusing on the other person, but we're focusing on you. So the name of the game is, are you attached or connected? And the moral of this game is to really give a better understanding of your responses pertaining to this, right? So let me know when you guys are ready for me to read the first question. Cool. Okay. First scenario. Your partner hasn't replied to your text all day. You're either going to A, send a few texts to check if they're okay and ask why they haven't replied. B, wait for them to reply and understanding that they may be busy. C, start assuming they're upset with you and wonder what you did wrong. Or D, use the time for personal activities and enjoy until you hear back from them.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think it was A. Send a couple to check on or something. I think that would be me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I see a few people putting B, C, and D. That's wild.
I think it depends on what's going on, right? Like at that moment. But most likely, I start with A because I want to make sure you're okay before I curse you out.
Right. So for the coaches, they're going to give you a perspective in regards to this. So this is the reason why I have them up here, right? So they can give a perspective. Even baby, if you want to give your perspective on that as well, go for it. but we need a definite answer. So, what would be your definite answer, Hormiga? Because I know you don't like definites.
It starts with A always.
Okay, cool. All right, Riz, Venus, everybody else,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna play a character here.
go for it.
I'm gonna say in the beginning, the answer is all of the above for me. I may feel a little jealous. I may feel a little contempt. I may feel a little, what's your problem? All of those things are going to run through my mind.
Okay.
I'm also going to sit back and reassess and collect my emotions, and then I'm going to choose wisely. So I
Gotcha.
would definitely calm myself down, because you never know what a person is going through. Anything can happen in a blink of an eye. And I'm not speaking about just tragedy, right? Anything can literally happen. And so I would shoot a text, hey, what's up, blah, 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 right? Because I want that love to be known, that consideration to be known. And then I'm going to wait for the response.
Okay.
And I think I think in a way it also lends itself to what stage of the relationship are you in? Like, is it the
Right.
first month? Has it been 15 years? Do they have certain patterns that you've been seeing over time and it deviates from the pattern? That's where my mind goes, but I know that's not the purpose. It's supposed to be
No,
like,
no. The reason why I like you guys, the reason why the fact that you guys are up here is to give them that perspective, right? Because they won't
Right.
know until that perspective is given. So
So
go
so
for
the
it.
normal healthy me, I'm always going to shoot the text because I always want to check in on people and make sure they're good.
Right.
But the unhealed version of me was choosing E. I think you're getting your cheeks clapped. I'm mad. You're out there doing something you're not supposed to be doing,
Right.
and I'm pissed off. Right? The very unhealed version would choose E. Would go with extreme. Who the fuck you fucking with right now? That would be me. Right?
Understandable.
And no, I'm saying that seriously, right? It sounds outrageous, but that's something I have done in the past, right? Not understanding self, not understanding what healthy communication looks like, not
Right.
understanding what emotional regulation looks like, assuming the worst instantly, and having an attachment style that was completely disorganized and dysfunctional.
Gotcha. But no, there's a method to my madness, people. Okay,
I
I
know.
promise you. There's a
I'm,
method to my
I'm gonna
madness.
hold myself accountable, because that's what I be doing these days. Because I'm working on me. I used to be a C and a little bit of E. what Riz just described. I used to be C. Now I'm very much an A. Where,
Send to work with.
and this is only because I know, number one, I know where my partner is because my partner is transparent with me. I used to very much be C and a little bit of E, but now I'm more A. So, and that came with a lot of work.
Okay.
So my turn.
Go ahead, Tony P.
The unhealed me was definitely a E.
Okay.
The healed and delivered me is now an A and a D.
what was D?
So D was
Finding me
use the
something to
personal time. Use your personal time and just wait for them to respond back. Pretty much.
I am a big
So
person in finding something to do to keep my mind occupied so I don't turn into an E.
right. So I for me at the unhealed version for me I was definitely at C for sure. Right. The real unhealed version of me was all of the above. I would do at least one of them twice. Um, you know what I'm saying in regards to that. But right now for me it's A and D. You know what I'm saying? I'm A and D in regards to that. So
You know where my dysfunctional mind goes is there's also a segment of the population who would be C because they're doing something too that may be unsavory, so they're blowing you up to try to find out where you at to make sure
right.
you ain't doing what
You
they
know
doing.
what? You know what? I was thinking the same thing, Gumbo, but I was thinking the same thing for D, right? that they're so focused on self that they don't even care enough to check in. They're so
Right.
focused on what they want to do and their life and the activities they're interested in that they're not even willing to send the text if you're all right.
True. True.
True.
I
True.
also, Emmanuel, side note, and I don't know if relationship coach Chris is still in here, and I don't know if you're friends with this person, but you may
I'm
want to
not.
tap in. You may want to tap into to her for
Let me
next
see.
month
Okay. Gotcha.
because it looks like she coaches people on. Yeah, it just kind of jarred something in me, so I don't know if anybody's connected or not, or if she's still here, but that may be a good yeah
I got you.
for next month.
So yeah, for the military joint, yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, absolutely. I just sent you a follow, relationship coach. Um, ooh, okay. Second scenario.
Wait. Before you jump into that, I want people to have a quick little understanding. Umbro, this is really for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to attachment styles, we have to look at what is the actual conflict, right? Because we have conflicts within ourselves. And one conflict that keeps being overlooked is the anxiety, the attachment of anxiety, which also could be called a preoccupied attachment style, right? How is it that you have a need to please others, but you have difficulty trusting others? Think about what I'm saying. If you have a
Mm-hmm.
need,
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
if you
I'm
have
with
a
you.
need to please others, so that means that your happiness is reliant upon the
Mm-hmm.
success that you do for others,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't trust nobody. That is a huge conflict. Think about what I'm
It
saying.
is.
Think about it. If you have a negative self worth, a constant need for closeness, they call those people needy,
Hmm.
fear of rejection, fear of being abandoned, difficulty trusting others, need to please others, overly dependent, and difficulty regulating emotions.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole big can of worms. Because think about this, you need to please others, but you don't trust no one. Where are you going with this?
You know what the real answer to that is functionally? Trust doesn't have to be present if my only goal is to soothe myself
I
by
say.
any means necessary, by any means necessary, and by any person necessary. I'm not caring if I trust you, if you do all the things I want, as long as if I get to soothe and you give me that,
I
the
know
rest
what
of the
it is.
stuff, we'll figure it out or not later. But I can't, and if I can't get the rest of the stuff, and there's some reason the soothing stops, then I got to replace you with somebody that can, and I got to keep doing it because I'm a mess and I'm not going to work on it. So, and I can't, and I won't functionally say that I'm a mess. I'll just say this is who I am.
Right, accept me for who I am. Accept
Yeah.
me. No, I only said that to say this. Thank you. Look. When there is an unhealthy attachment, right? Because people think that you can't get attached to something that's unhealthy. You're bugging. Okay. So here's the thing. It's the ability to meet your needs. It is the most selfish thing that you can do, right? When you could have a strong bond, right? You could have a strong bond, but what is that bond created from? What is actually the attachment that you could say, yeah, I'm attached to Gumbo, I'm attached to this person, I'm attached to this person. But what is it exactly that's creating this attachment? Because you could be attaching to someone just to disconnect.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And this is one of the tenets of why I think a lot of us do the work we do is to be able to have that person see who you are by what you do and not necessarily by what you say, and you can't, inside your brain that's going through it, you probably would never see it until somebody says, wait, no.
Right.
This person you chose, that they're the opposite of the last person, but there wasn't any kind of alignment in between. You just if I go to the opposite of the work, and the reason why you're attaching is because you still need to feel like you're not abandoned. You didn't even qualify what or who you're attaching yourself to, and it's unfortunate that some of us will never get to this revelation in our lifetime of the dysfunction that we keep, because it becomes a part of life for a lot of us, and we think, and here's the other interesting point. Inside our bodies, we know it's not right. We know it doesn't feel good. We know it feels abusive. And there's something in us that whatever, wherever it comes from, because there's a multitude of things, it says, keep trying, keep going. It'll be better. We can fix it. There's hope. And there's no proof. There's no metric by which you can base the hope on. There's nothing there.
There's no receipts.
Absolutely. I would like to give a good analogy to add to what Relationship Como says.
Go for it.
So think of, you can also think of attachment and connections like the Mr. Potato Head or Miss Potato Head, right? Attachments are something that are mutable, they're interchangeable, right? And the connection, think about the connection, not that it's finite, but as the body of the Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head. And because there are so many variables, you can use the connections, the arm, the leg, the eyes, the hat, the dress, the ears, and they have all of these different connecting parts, attachments that you can use. And sometimes you can put your eyes on upside down. Sometimes you can put the ear where the mouth's supposed to be, right? It can depend on the way you want to feel, but you have all of these attachments, all of these pieces that you put yourself on, that you put on to yourself. Some of us are aware that we are putting our eyes in where it belongs in the sockets, or our arm where it belongs, or the hands. And then some of us, we look real crazy because our eyes is where our feet should be. Our feet is where our head should be. Our glasses is where our ears should be. And oftentimes you can't see it until you look in the
Oh, I love
mirror.
this.
And so think of the coaches and mentors as your mirror and be like, you do know you looking crazy out here in these streets, right? So no wonder you can't hear, because you done place the air at the bottom of your feet. You understand what I'm saying? And so we assist you in putting these attachments, all of these connecting mutable pieces, even though they can move, in its proper place. So you can be like, oh, right? So when you take off the blindfold, you like, what? You can see better.
You know
When
what?
when you unplug your ears, guess what? You can hear better. You can hear clear, right? So think about it as like a Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head.
I like
I
I
love
like
like
that.
that.
I
I like
love
that.
that. I like that a
I
lot.
like that. You know why? Because that falls in line with what I talk about. How we have five senses, but we don't use all five of them, and we usually get very comfortable with one of them, which is the talking part. And I keep trying to tell people, stop listening with your mouth, right? Stop listening with your mouth, right? So then, just take it a little bit deeper. The reason why I said what I said is, if you're on a date or you're in a meet and greet, because a date is for people that are already dating, right? Or if you're in a meet and greet and we keep telling you, stop giving people more information about yourself than you have to, guess who's being toxic if you out there telling someone everything about you and everything you like and you don't like? You are already, red flag alert for people that do not pay attention. A person that's in a meet and greet and all they say is, and it sounds like they're reading from a prompt. I'm like this and I like this and I like that and I like this and I like that and I like this. You are already being toxic by giving up all that information. You are already training someone how to react to you. That's toxic from jump. See the red flags, please.
Yeah, this part that you're talking about, Hormiga, is very rarely realized because they don't see that behavior as being something that's inherently bad. I'm just being a free spirit. I'm an open book. I can just tell you whatever and it's fine. But you also have to be cognizant that everybody doesn't deserve that they have to earn some of those things in order for you to build a space where it feels safe for you to even do that. Without all of that, it tells me more about you than it does about them.
Right.
That you just have to do all of this, and a lot of times that in itself could be a trauma response,
Yes.
right? So
It could also be interpreted as bragging.
yeah, that
And,
too.
and what do people that love challenges do with braggers?
They want to break them down.
That's right.
Challenge. They
Don't
absolutely.
ask me how I know that, but I heard that somewhere.
What did you say, Coach Tanya?
I heard it on social media somewhere.
She
They
said,
absolutely will take the challenge.
and then it doesn't become a relationship at all. It becomes a challenge. It becomes a I'll show you.
Exactly. And we wind up giving out the blueprint of what you want. And it leaves it open to allowing a person to mirror the things that you want or do not want in a relationship. And then you come to us and you say, I never saw it, but you gave it all away. Last week, I think I dropped something in the chat about this exact same thing. And knowing the person for 5 minutes, it just, everything about their trauma was in that conversation.
Absolutely.
And I want to say the unhealed version of me would have recognized it, but the healed version of me was like, you dumped everything in my lap in the first 5 minutes of us having a conversation, and the red flags just started going off, and I see Sweet Tea got a red flag on the play. So we just have to listen, because sometimes we don't even see those. We want to be nurturers. We want to say, oh, I'll never do that to you. I'm sorry you went through that. I'm not that type of person. So you have to actually learn how to read in between the lines, if that's the right way to put it, so you can save yourself from going through the dramatics.
No, that's facts though, because I you guys know I speak about the blueprint all the time. That was like my biggest thing, to let everybody know to be careful about providing too much information too quickly, because like Coach Tanya said, they mirror the person that you gave them, pretty much gave them. So when they get you comfortable enough, and they start breaking down these walls where now your boundaries is not as strong, right? You're more vulnerable, you're more relaxed in your state. Then they start to show who they really are.
Right. That sounds like but he was so into me. But you never asked why this person was paying attention to what you were saying. Like, you never asked what is the person's intention when they are being attentive to what you're saying. Oh, but they were there. They were diligently listening to me. Of course they were. But what was their intention for listening to you?
So there is a such thing as somebody paying way too close attention to you. I'm just saying. There's a such thing. People think there isn't, but there is a such thing as somebody paying way too close attention to you, right? If you really, like, the intention behind it is what's the most important thing. But if you're able to catch on to those cues on, damn, he's asking way too many questions, or she's asking way too many questions, or damn, did I give them too much? Because everything that they're doing, it's literally reflecting exactly what I want.
Exactly.
Like, you know
It
what I'm
can be
saying?
very tricky. It can be very tricky.
Yeah.
What I've learned is that there's a difference between sensing, and sensory input. And a lot of us get really confused and lost because we're leaning heavily on sensory input. And it can always be very tricky. Your eyes can trick you because they're going to reflect exactly what your innermost core frequencies are, whether you know it or not. what you hear can oftentimes trick you. And so when we're relying on the sensory inputs of it and not their inner sense standpoint, which is seeing with your eyes closed, feeling without the use of your hands, touching without the use of your hands, or the use or incorporating your body, right? When
Right.
you can begin to tap into that inner sense, sensing, using the sixth sense instead of just relying on the five senses, baby, you tap into a whole nother realm. Then there's a lot
Absolutely.
of questions that you don't even need to ask or ponder about. Just sense and trust that energy will never lie. Even though it can be alchemized and bent, it will never lie to you. And we do ourselves a disservice because you're only leaning on to all of the sensory input, and that leads you to sensory overload. So now you can't even tap into your inner sense because you're
There it
so
is.
disconnected from it. And now you're even more confused because now all you want to do is, I want to hear what I want to hear. I want to see what I want to see. I want to think what I want to think. I want to feel what I want to feel. And you don't even realize that that's causing you to continually self destruct.
And I
So
think the
there's
one thing, whew,
Ashe.
Jesus Lord.
That's a lot, man. Can we get a hand clap for that? That was like
Yeah,
heavy.
she's on a roll. She's on a roll today. Like,
Ashe.
she on a roll today. She on
She
a roll today.
is.
She woke up with her coffee this morning.
Again, again, ladies and gentlemen, we have five senses. We barely,
six.
we, well, we have the sixth sense, but you got to go through the five before we go through the six, right? But I said that because most people only work on two or three senses. Like,
Very
people
much
are
so.
honestly trying to picture what something feels like without touching it. People are honestly trying to see what something sounds like with their eyes. People are actually trying to see things with their ears. Like, they have it twisted. Learn how to use your senses the right way, and it will open up other parameters, as Venus said. Try it, try it. I would suggest please practice on your motor skills. It's kind of like a hooked on phonics moment where we think we know things and we really don't. You know, open your mind up to a different way of looking at things so that you can grasp it from a different perspective. That's all we're saying.
I think the one thing that people need to stop being afraid of is asking questions.
Oh, right.
We don't ask enough questions in regards to why somebody's asking too many questions, right? We don't ask those things. Like, we don't catch on to certain things, and that can create a problem,
What's
right,
funny
in
is
itself.
what's funny is that you don't want to ask someone, and that'll open up the segue to the next thing we're going to talk about after you finish your questions. The difference between being inclusive and intrusive. If you can't ask someone why they're asking the line of questions, is there something behind this? You're afraid of how they're going to look at you by asking this question, but meanwhile, you're allowing them to ask all these intrusive questions that there's a time and place for it. There's a certain level of questioning that you can ask on the first couple of times that you meet someone. That people are comfortable talking about certain things, but there's a time and place to go deep into certain things. And we allow them to ask these questions because we are afraid of how they're going to look at us, or we're afraid of losing someone that we don't even have yet.
Ooh, I talk about that all the time. I
So
talk about how we attach to strangers. We don't even know anything about them yet, right,
Wild,
Tanya?
bro. That's wild.
right, I had that whole conversation on my live yesterday about attaching to somebody else's trauma story, and trying to be like, well, I don't like this person because of what they did to you. You don't even know the person that did the damage. You can be aware of what they did, right? So that way you know how to move around. But to immediately dislike somebody because of somebody else's trauma story it's a
Yeah,
wild thing to do,
yeah,
right? So we had that whole conversation yesterday on
yeah.
my live. Yeah, it gets
Empath,
wild.
all empaths in the comments. We feel attacked right now. We've all done it. We've all heard that we want to save and fix, and I want to show them the love they never got from all the people they told me about. I want to make sure that they're good, and I'm going to be the one to do it.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. So in regards to these questions, I forgot the most important part of it. There's a point system to this. Okay. So if you mostly picked A 2 points, right? If you picked A, it's 2 points. If you picked B, it's a 3-point system. So if any of the moderators in the chat can write that in the chat. For scenario 1, the point system was A was 2 points, B was 3 points, C was 1, and D was 3. So just for A, the point, if you can do that in the chat, I'd really appreciate it for that scenario. So people could just have an understanding. For scenario 2, your partner starts a new project that takes up too much of their time. Do you A, feel hurt and wonder if the project is more important than you? B, cheer them on and ask how can you support, trusting that they'll balance the time with you? C, drop hints that you feel neglected, that you wish that you had more time for you? Or D, feel proud of them and enjoy your own hobbies or projects too? Or E, all of the above?
I think I'm a B.
Okay.
Can you repeat the just the question part real quick
Yeah.
for me?
Yep. Your partner starts a new project that takes too much of their time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Wait.
You're welcome.
Whose time? Your partner's time or
Of the partner's time.
Okay.
So you want me to read the answers again so that way you can have a better understanding? So your partner starts a new project that takes too much of their time. Do you A, feel hurt and wonder if the project is more important than you? So if you pick A, that's 1 point, right? B, if you you cheer them on and ask how can you support them and trusting that they'll balance the time with you. So if you pick B, that's 3. That's 3 points. Okay. C, drop hints that you feel neglected or that you wish that they had more time for you. That's 2 points if you pick C. And then D, feel proud of them and enjoy your own hobbies or projects too. And that's 3 points if you pick D.
I think
I'm still B.
I'm a B and a D.
Okay. Gotcha. So try to make sure you map out your points too in regards to that. If you're picking it, make sure that you keep in mind there is a point system to this because there's a method to my madness, I promise you. Anybody else?
I'm gonna go with Tanya or Coach Tanya on this one. However, I would also include at any time during the me supporting him and me doing my own thing. At any given point, if I feel like I want quality time, I'm gonna have a discussion.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ignore it. So I'll include that.
Okay. Olivia, you coming up? Gotcha.
I'm gonna come.
So wait. So I'm a hardcore B, right? That's all I've kind of ever been.
Okay.
But I think there's a little bit of context to B. Read B for me one more time because I think the way that people are answering it's like B means you're detaching yourself from doing the hobbies.
Okay, I got you. So B is cheer them on and ask how you can support them, trusting that they'll balance their time with you.
Right. So that doesn't mean that you're not making time for yourself to do other things. I think there's a distinction between. I guess I would have to say B and D then. I guess.
Yeah, because in B you're really pretty much trying to engage with your partner, so that way you could spend time with them. In regards to B, if you really look at it that way, right? And then D is pretty much you're just focusing on you, and doing your own thing.
Yeah, I still have to say B for me because I whenever you say you got something going on, I'm like, how can I help you? Like, what are we doing? Like, okay, cool. And you're saying trusting that they will make space for you. So I'm good with that.
Cool. Okay. Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with D on this one because while I think the person that I would be involved with would already have the understanding that I would want to be there and cheer them on and support them. It's now their responsibility to include me. They should know that I'm going to be present if you include me. So if you don't include me, then that's fine. I'll go do and enjoy my own hobbies and focus on things that I'm passionate about. I don't think it's a unhealthy balance to let somebody bring it to you instead of wanting to include yourself in what they have. For me, it's almost like I don't want to feel entitled to their time. I want them to offer that willingly. It's a
Right.
level of control that I don't wish to have.
Understandable. And mind you, you can pick as many answers as you want in regards to this. There's no right or wrong answer. It's pretty much all on you, right? But mind you, I tell you, there is a point system to this. So there's a method to my madness once I finish these questions.
Yeah, I try. I guess for me, I was trying to not pick multiples. I was trying to fit the one that was most true.
Right.
But because in some of these cases, like earlier, we could pick like four of them. I guess maybe I misunderstood. I was trying to pick the one that I most fit versus the complexities of what could happen in between them. So
Right. Right.
that's a
So
Derek thing.
yeah, it's a method. It's a madness here somewhere. I
I'm
promise
gonna,
you. My
I'm gonna
my
give you,
brain
I'm gonna
my
give
brain
you,
works weird.
I'm gonna give you a different perspective. All right.
Right. Because I still want to give time for you to do the inclusive and intrusive. So because we're
I
about
will
to.
say, I will say this. I don't like your question. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't like your question. Who are we to determine who has time for the project? That's not up to us.
Okay.
That's number one. Like, how could you tell someone, um, I'm afraid that you're not gonna have time for that?
There's a met. I'm
Hey,
trying to tell you there's a method to my madness. I promise you. You got to run with me.
I'm just saying the alignment of the question, to be able to determine if somebody else has enough time. Yeah, I get that you have experience with it. I guess that you've been with this person, you've seen how they handle project management, right? But
Hmm.
I always start with, hey, that's an interesting idea. Have you thought this through? What can I do to help you, right? And sometimes staying out of their way is everything in the world. Sometimes we do too much. Sometimes we try to put ourselves in the position so we don't feel left out, right? That has to do with emotional
Yeah.
intelligence, right? If you have emotional
Right.
intelligence, then you never feel left out. You understand that things are the way they are for many different reasons, right? So this question is an emotional intelligent question. And if you don't have emotional intelligence, right?
Yeah. See, for me, because
So
I've been through about 10 or 15 of these said projects, and my first knee jerk reaction is, "Congratulations on starting this thing. If you need my help, I'm here. I got your back if you need me." And then I get out the way, or I engage if they say, "Yeah, maybe I need your perspective on this." Like I
La la.
immediately go into, "I got you. I'm proud of you. I see what you're doing. Let's go." And I'm saying let's go because of this, right? Like it's built in. So it's like if I don't do that, if I don't encourage and do all of the things, then I feel like that's not, well, that's just how my makeup is. I have to be the cheerleader. I have to be like, "So you good?" Like I'm not inserting myself, but I want to make sure the mental health, like, is your mental health good? Are you good? Like I'm doing these check-ins along the way.
Hmm.
And that's just my root program. And I do that, but I also got relationship gumbo. So I'm still doing me, but I'm seeing you over here crying. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? You good? You need some input?"
Right.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to emotional intelligence, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you could be a fan of the person and not like the project itself. You understand what I'm saying? You need emotional intelligence because what ends up happening when you become a fan or the rooter, you end up giving unsolicited advice or unsolicited opinions about things that you shouldn't be sticking your nose into. Okay. So again, you have to be very careful with this question. I like to support the things you do. I also would like to remind you, or ask you if you are ready time management wise for this. You could ask about yourself in the question without including yourself in the question if you do it in a supporting role. But if I see as though I'm your fan, I'm doing what you do, I'm not going all the way in because that's not my project. That's your project.
Right.
I will wait for that
Good
moment.
morning, J2.
I will get to that point where I'm not adding any value to what you're doing. Therefore, I will start working on my own projects or my own hobbies at that point.
So I'm glad that
see,
you caught
Amiga,
on. I'm glad that
that's
you
why I
caught on
went
to
for
that.
D.
Here's something also to add to that. Just because you have emotional intelligence does not mean that you are excluded from feeling. You can absolutely have emotional regulation and still feel and want certain connections or certain attention from your partner. It doesn't mean that you necessarily lack emotional regulation. So I just wanted to add that, because sometimes when we say emotional intelligence and you have emotional intelligence, oftentimes people can misconstrue that and perceive that to be, well, if I don't, if I feel or want, that means that I'm in dysregulation. And that's not necessarily the truth. You
That's
can
not.
still be
No,
very
right.
mature. You can still have emotional regulation and still also know that you still feel, you still need, you still want certain things. And it's okay to express that as well.
I agree. I
Boom.
agree. I agree 100%. The only reason why I said that is because, emotional intelligence would not let it get past a certain level. Emotional intelligence would not allow the emotions to turn into something like the bickery or the left-handed comments or the underhanded compliments. Like people make believe that they have emotional intelligence, right? But all they're doing is just sizing you up to prove, oh, again, this is an attachment thing, because if you're so attached to a person that they can't do a project without you, what are you saying about yourself?
You see how that one simple question opened up those layers.
Of course it does.
Yeah,
I, don't-
it's
I, I,
triggering to me. It's
There's there.
triggering to me because it's a little triggering to me, a little bit, not in a bad way, but it's triggering to me because I recall, like, in these past 15 years of those moments where a project was started, and then I was like, congratulations, you started it. And then I'm watching her, like, let's say she had a boutique, right? And so she was doing like vending events and carrying all the clothes, and I was like, hold on, let me help you with those. So now when she's going to vending, I got them clothes on my back because I'm supporting her, and she opened herself up to the support because I saw the strain that she was going through. So some people will be like, you inserted yourself, and that's not like, for me. If I see that there's something that I can assist, I will at least offer. And then
Hmm.
I then became infused into the work because I saw the value that I could add, but it did not make me disconnect from the things that I was doing for myself as well. So for me, my root programming, I'm always going to be cognizant of my surroundings, and if I see that there's something you're going through, I would at least offer. I would at least be like, I see what you're doing. It looks amazing. I'm an engineer. Can I give you some insight on the way that I see it, because I'm on the outside of it? That's my root program. And some people would say you're forcing yourself in. For me, I still maintain my frame. I'm still doing relationship gumbo, but I got some extra time to help you lift those clothes. Let me help you with that. And she took the help.
Coach
That's
Jack.
a gumbo my.
Go
Oh, go
ahead,
ahead,
Chris.
G. Go ahead, G.
Nope, go ahead.
Nope, you've been quiet. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna need Derek to get out my head, because he knows with this whole Discord thing, I very much wanted to just dive in headfirst and be like, let's do this. But there was a discussion that needed to be had, so I made sure that I wasn't overstepping my boundaries or his boundaries. I stepped back and said, I would love to help with this and I would love to be of assistance, but I need to make sure that you don't think I'm overstepping you in any way, shape, or form before I do that. Because I'm not comfortable with taking your baby and making it as equally much mine without you saying that it's okay.
And I was like, go for it. Have fun. I was just like, have fun. I was like, it kept her busy though. That's the thing, right? Because she's a creative. She likes to create things. She's a photographer. That's who she is. So she likes to create. So I was like, if it helps her, gives her a sense of peace or a sense of hobbiness, like to have a hobby or something, go for it. That's all you. Have fun with it. Because I know with the things that I'm trying to do, I'm not going to have the time to do both. So I alleviated my responsibilities from that, and I gave it all to her. I said, go fight for it. I'm not here to tit for tat. We're here to work as a team. So
Some
it
people
works
are
out.
very happy.
Rich wanted to say something too.
Yeah, some people are very happy about that, right? Some people wish and hope that their partners have projects, because I used to catch myself telling my exes, "You need a hobby. I cannot be a hobby." Listen,
Get out of my head.
you need
Get out of
something.
my
You
head.
need something else to do, and not just listening to music. You need to do something where you can create, where you can allow yourself to think, to be inclusive. You see what
So
I'm saying?
let me give you guys that last question, and then Riz, you can go real quick, and I'll get the last question because I know you had something to say.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, go ahead.
All right.
Keep it moving.
So I'm gonna give the last question so that way Corey can get into the next segment of the live, because we got about half an hour till we shut down. So the third scenario, right? You have conflict with your partner. You avoid discussing it, worry that they might leave or stop loving you, and this is very general, right? But we can go deeper into it because I already know how this is gonna go. B, calmly address the issue, sharing your feelings and inviting them to share theirs. So A is 1 point, B is 3 points. C, constantly seeking reassurance that things are okay between you both. That is C, so that's 2 points. And then D, discuss it openly, aiming to resolve it together without blame. And then that's 3 points for D.
All of them.
Our
That's
coach,
one I can say all of them.
coach, all
I'll
of
let
them.
Conflict.
go ahead.
Listen, conflict resolution does not have one method of working.
Okay, gotcha. I'm just gonna mute you guys real quick, guys. 1 second. I'm gonna put you guys on mute real quick. Go ahead, guys. So I heard a few say all of them. I heard
I,
all of them
I
from
agree.
was that Tanya? Was that Gumbo? Did I
I
say
agree.
all of them?
All of
Okay,
them. I agree with all
gotcha.
of them.
Everybody else?
I would be a B and I think a C or D.
Okay. So it's a little bit of a little bit of each. Okay,
Conflict can
gotcha.
be healthy if handled appropriately.
Boom,
I did them all.
boom.
I did them all, but I find myself doing less of the antagonizing, right? Less of the unnecessary question asking, right?
Right.
I like to get to the heart of the matter, but what people don't understand, me being the male, there are things that have to be done before those things are done. That is creating that safe space, not just the vulnerability of the physical space, but understanding that, to me, a woman's emotions has to be dealt with first before anything else happens further. Because if you don't deal with those emotions, or whatever emotions, not just female emotions, the emotions have to be handled first and understood before you can go further. Because otherwise, you're going into it with the emotions, and when the emotions are attached to logical thinking, we all know what happens.
Don't you guys love the
Yeah.
method to my madness?
You are mad. You are definitely
Because
mad.
I move in and out of them, right? I don't
Right.
normally like A speaks to my anxious attachment style, right? Like it's still in me. I just mute it down, but it's still there. So I still get some A, but then I'm like, wait, you tripping. And then I move into the other ones, but it's still there. Like people think that you the goal is for me to be totally secure all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of secure moments, but that anxious still be bubbling up sometimes. I still it's still in there. I just learned how to control the Hulk. I got to keep him down because when that thing come out, it's not fair to my partner when it comes out like that.
Right. So Venus, Riz, babe, guys, anybody?
Again, and pardon me, can you real quickly just repeat the question?
Yeah. So you have conflict with your partner, right? You either A, avoid discussing it, worried they might leave or stop loving you. B, calmly address the issue, sharing your feelings and inviting them to share theirs. C, consistently seek reassurance that things are okay between you both. And then D is discuss it openly, aiming to resolve it together without blaming or without blame.
I was an A and a C, and now I'm more of a D. I was A and C. Like, But now I'm more of a D. Like the fact that we can openly have conversations and it's never it's never an argument. It's always a discussion.
True.
Like
Very true.
there's
You
never
don't
been
argue over
a
that.
raised tone of voice in this household ever. It's always been a discussion. If it's a raised tone of voice in this house, it's because we're joking around and we're just being too loud. It's anything that's a serious discussion is a sit down and have a serious discussion. Like TV off, phone off, whatever the case may be, let's sit down, let's talk about it.
I want to be like y'all when I grow up.
You saw me
See,
before.
it's
If you saw me before
listen.
this, you'd be like, I don't want to be anything like you. Like, who hurt you?
I keep trying to tell you guys. At one point in my life, I consider myself quote unquote the devil incarnate. I was not this person at all. You would not like the person that I was before. I promise you. You would not want to be around the person that I was before. This wouldn't be a thing if I was the person I was before. I promise you. It took a lot of work to get here, guys. Okay,
Well,
I have
you
my
didn't,
moments where I fall short, but
you didn't even like the person you were before.
I didn't. I sure didn't. Did not at all. Not even remotely.
What if you have a partner that refuses to actually sit down, be an adult, and communicate with you?
That's
Run,
That's tough.
run.
That's very tough.
That's tough.
Because it's essential. It's not even a I'll get by. It's not even a we'll deal with that, later. We'll cross that bridge later when we get there. It's not even that. It's about if you can't have that, then you really don't have anything. Everything is on a false pretense.
I sure did. Silent. I sure did. That was the simplest response I can give is run.
Yeah, and there's also some nuance to this too, right? There could be an intermediate. There could be an intermediary that comes in and teaches you guys how to communicate with each other better, but it takes both people to want it. Because I think that there's a space where we can think that there's a person who kind of maliciously just says I ain't talking, and then there's another person that maybe doesn't necessarily know the language to say I don't even know how to engage, and that can be taught, right? But they have to be willing to want to make it work better. But then there are some people who just ain't talking to you, and that's the run thing. Yeah.
Yeah, run. Yeah, in that situation, run. But the thing is, right? I think the thing is that people are also afraid to involve a third party, right? Where this is where the counseling comes in and stuff like that. Like, if you feel like you really want to get it to work, and they're willing to at least a little bit, like they give you a little bit of an opening to be like, yeah, let's figure it out, and we can't figure it out together.
Yeah.
Get a third party. Get a relationship counselor. Get somebody that's willing to be neutral in the situation to give you guys both perspectives, right? So everybody can have a learning lesson on how to really navigate that situation. Because a lot of times, even though it's available, people be like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with that with a counselor. I don't want to deal with an arbitrator. I don't want to have to deal with that because that's not for what I want for my relationship. Well, your relationship might need it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Fact. So I'm gonna go with D on this one because I'm confrontational as shit, but without aggression, right? You're willing to confront these issues without being combative. You're willing to have those discussions, but not let it fester and sit on the side without being passive aggressive about it, right? Being inviting to those conversations, but saying we have to do this, having assertiveness without the anger, right? Because it's necessary. That open line of communication has to be there. But I agree with your point from before when you're saying, well, if the person doesn't want to sit down and have that discussion, run, because they're going to continue to avoid the problems, and you're never going to get a resolution. And the idea and the aim should be resolution, right? Conflict is inevitable. Conflict is inevitable. And I've said this so many times in the past. It's not about the conflict, and it never will be. It's how you treat each other when there's conflict that shows you how they actually feel about you. Because they can
Right.
say whatever they want, but their actions will prove their actual intention to how they manage dealing with conflict. I'm going back on mute.
So before you dive into what you're about to say, right? I just want to give the quick scoring because we're all running low on time. So for anybody, so I did mention it was a point system to this, right? So mostly connected points, right? If you're mostly connected, right? You scored within a 10 to 15 point range, right? You tend to build a balanced and secure connection. You respect the boundaries and communicate openly and trust your partner's autonomy. That's where you range within the 10 to 15 points. So if you were paying attention to your responses and I gave the point system, that's you within the 10 to 15. If you're a 6 to 9 point range, you have a mixed point. You have a healthy mix of connections, but you may rely on attachments during challenging moments. You might benefit from developing greater trust in the relationship. Now, if you went anything below that, if you're anything below that, you need a coach. I'm just gonna let. I'm just gonna. There's some work that needs to be done there. If you ranged in the 0 to 5, you mostly have attachments. You may have a tendency towards attachments and often seeking reassurance depending on external validation. Working on self-trust and communication could help you foster a stronger connection.
That is wild, and I'm not picking on nobody, but I want people to understand this from a more open perspective. Sometimes, especially men, they don't believe in mental health. They don't believe in getting therapy, right? Because they feel as though it is a sign of weakness, and they don't want to feel comfortable or vulnerable in a situation to do something like this. So we got also got to understand this. There is a reason why, and it happens between men and women. You're in a relationship with someone, and then all of a sudden, the next relationship that they're in, they end up doing the things that you wanted to do with them.
Oh,
Okay? It's not for you to take it personal, but it is for you to look at why the connection wasn't there. It's not always their fault, it's not always your fault, and sometimes there is no fault at all. We got to stop looking for fault and start looking for commonalities. Because if we don't, then we end up finding reasons to keep pointing the finger, and that finger never gets pointed at itself.
it's that self-accountability, that self-reflection. Oh my goodness. You can't
That
keep
self
saying
mastery.
Ooh, wee.
The legend of Kung Fu.
That self-mastery. It's important.
I'm
Cat,
here
you had
for
something to say? I seen you on mute, Cat.
it. His box was shaking a little bit.
No, I just seen she unmuted. I seen Cat on mute. I don't think she had something to say.
Yeah.
But you wanted to speak about the inclusive and the intrusive, so I'm gonna let you take the floor in regards to that.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just want people to, if I can, this is just my preference and my desire. I would just love for people to just stop looking at things linearly. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why words have synonyms. This is why the English language has many words that sound alike and have, different meanings, or spelled alike and have different meanings, right? Look at something in its entirety before you jump off a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Before you do anything in life, try to get as much information as possible before you move forward, because you could be going into something with the wrong tense, the wrong explanation, the wrong definition. Expand your vocabulary. What else could I say? So when we're talking about inclusivity, right? This is more from a leadership perspective. For those that know me, I went to school for leadership, right? And leadership and inclusivity.
Good morning, J Hugs.
It's the most important part of being a leader, is to empower the people around you.
Right.
Is to try to get the best out of them, because sometimes you see things in them that they don't see in themselves. Does that sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen?
Absolutely.
Very much so.
How many times did we need someone to tell us something about us that we couldn't see? How many times did we need somebody to come from people that we don't even know will look at you and say, you know, you should smile more. Is that being inclusive or is that being intrusive?
It's intrusive as hell.
Is it? To
It's
tell
not
someone
inclusive.
to smile more?
It's none of your business if they want to smile or not. I mean, if that's your thought process, that's
Now, wouldn't that depend on
I'm
the
gonna
person?
let you rock it out. I'm gonna let
No,
you
no,
rock it
no.
out.
I'm glad you said that because everybody has a different way of looking at it. So one
Right.
person's intrusiveness is one person's inclusiveness.
Okay.
It all depends on your level of tolerance. It depends on your level of standards and boundaries. Because I may look at that as a helpful tool. You may look at that as who the hell are you?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But
Like,
we need to start recognizing that we talked about this a lot in this conversation where we're not comfortable with the truth.
mhm.
Are we uncomfortable with the truth or our truth?
Most people are not comfortable with any truth.
Right. So the only thing,
I've come to know that one of the most important and helpful things and engaging with anyone, no matter what type of style you have, no matter the perspectives, no matter the variables, is respect. Having enough respect for the other person to say whether they allow or don't allow. And a lot of
Right.
times we we fall on the side of being very intrusive without even knowing because of the comfortability level that you have with that person. It's just like that saying goes, don't be confused with a smile. Just because I allow you in my space does not mean that I allow you to be intrusive. You still have to have respect for me to either give you permission or to deny permission, depending on whatever it is. And that goes with conversations as well. The
correct.
difference between you forcing something and you just allowing the flow, respecting the individual no matter what part they play in your life.
Right. So
So a
Agreed.
lot of us
that's what I'm
really
saying.
are we
I'm sorry.
go
Go ahead.
ahead, love, go ahead.
No, no. Please finish the thought. 'Cause it was a good thought.
Um a lot of us are unknowingly very intrusive because we've gotten so comfortable and familiar and used to like, oh, they not gonna care. It don't matter. We've been together for 5, 10, 15 years. I'm your mother, I'm your father, I'm your sister, I'm your that doesn't really mean that you have the permission to force anything or to pull something from someone that's not ready for whatever their reasons are to give you.
Very true.
Correct. I'm glad you
Very
said
true.
that because that's what I'm trying to say, right? We need to realize the difference between inclusivity and intrusivity, right? And if you don't know, you don't get automatic rights to invade somebody's space. You understand what I'm saying? We just don't have that right. But for some reason or another, some people are real comfortable giving unsolicited advice. That's intrusive, right?
And that's also self-serving.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the other person.
Now we're going back into attachment. See the connection, attachment, and connection. You want to make a connection with someone, right? You have to be very weary of a person's standards and boundaries, even if you don't know them. There is a proper way to talk to people. There is a proper way to introduce yourself, right? Usually, if you tell someone, "Hey, good morning," and they look at you like you have three heads, that's a pretty good sign that they don't want to talk to you. Now,
Very much so.
here's the other part to it. You say good morning, you don't get a good morning back. You don't have the right to be upset at this person because you're offering something, right? You're saying good morning, right? Yes, it would be nice for the person to say good morning back, right? But again,
Right.
are we under the pretense that everything in that person's life is going okay? That we don't know what that person's been through. We don't know if that person had loss of sleep. We don't know if that person just lost somebody in their life. We don't know that. So we need to stop expecting what we are offering. Because if we expect what we offer, you're being intrusive.
That
Doesn't
sense of
that make it
entitlement is wild.
transactional?
Yeah, what Riz said in the comments. Yeah, see, here's the thing, right? And ladies will know this more than maybe anybody else. When these men try to talk to you, and you be like, "I'm good," and they be like, "So you so can I put my number in your phone?" I said I'm good, and they be like, "But you just sitting here by your." Slow down, sir. Like, what do we do? Because it's about them. It's not about your comfort at all at this point. And it's like, didn't I just tell you no?
Right.
Didn't my RBF tell you get the hell out my face and you didn't pay
Not like
attention?
that. People
I
don't care
love
about that.
that.
People don't care about that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Look, inclusive means making people feel accepted or valued. Real simple.
Right.
Intrusive means invading someone's space or getting in their face. And let me give you some examples. When it comes to leadership, creativity, creating an environment where people can be creative. Where people
Hashtag RFB in the chat.
heard or respected. That's what being respect, right? So when you are being intrusive, it could be poking somebody in the ribs. It could be hovering over somebody, like being in somebody's face like this, and you don't want to deal with nobody. You understand? Like, we don't ask the right questions, and sometimes all it takes is the right question and the right tone of voice to find out if the person's even receptive to us. We could be coming with the best intentions. We could talk to someone the best way possible. It's just the wrong time, and we need to start noticing that. We need to start knowing when is an appropriate time. Now, if you're with a person that every time you try to talk to them, they tell you it's not the right time, then you have to start being a little bit more intrusive. Because the other one, trying to include this person in what you're doing is not working. So when is it right to be intrusive? When a person is not respecting your boundaries or your standards, then you need to put your foot down. You understand what I'm saying? And it might come across as mean. It might come across as the wrong thing. Now, we have the inclusivity part, right? And then we have the intrusive part. But then we have two more things that I want to talk about, which is exclusive. Now, this is all going down to attachment styles and connections, right? Is it an exclusive attachment? Are you the only one that's involved in this attachment? Is it an exclusive connection? Are you and this person the only ones involved in this connection? That's very important to know, because if you treat everybody the same, you're going to have the same expectations from everybody. And can we treat everybody the same?
No,
We could try.
you can try, but I don't think it happens in practice.
That debunks the theory that Sweet Tea always talks about, meeting people where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing now? Think about this. Exclusive are those that you consider higher than anyone else. It is exclusive to you and that other thing. In other words, nothing else can compare to an exclusivity because it is that unique.
Right.
Right? So you can't mimic it. You can look at it, you can learn from it, right? But you can never be it, because exclusivity has its own dynamic, right, to itself. The other word that I wanted to introduce is called obtrusive.
That's a good word.
Phew, we're going to learn right now. Obtrusive is something
You got
that is
7 minutes.
noticeable or unpleasant in an unwanted way. You might describe a statue in a living room as obtrusive if it stands out in a bad way. The standing out part versus the physical part. Something could be how could I say this? Annoying. Maybe there's an eyesore in your living room, something that just it's bothering you because it's messing up the symmetrical version of the view of your place. Or a statue, like for instance, we have Christopher Columbus Day that turned into Indigenous Day. And some people don't want Christopher Columbus in a statue. But the Italians would disagree because Christopher Columbus is Italian. You understand what I'm saying? The big fight between who discovered America, how can you discover something if people were already here? It's a big fight, but everybody has a different perspective of what obtrusive could be. In other words, me and Gumbo could be walking in New York City. I'm from New York City. He might see something that's like, hey, that's extremely obtrusive. No, it's not. That's New York. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? What interferes with a person's emotions is not always the same that interferes with your emotions. That's why emotional regulation, emotional intelligence is important, because if you don't know the things that are going to trigger you, and you should know if you're the type of person that gets super anxious if you're being introduced to something for the first time, because it's just reaction every time that something is introduced to you, you're going to feel that way. So learn the words. Inclusive, right? We're all doing this. Intrusive. You're in a person's face. You could be micromanaging this person. You could be telling this person how things are done. Ladies, we talked about that. How you expect someone to speak to you. How you expect someone to do things the way you do things. And it doesn't always work that way. My mother always told me, if you want something done the way you want it done, do it yourself. That's the only way to secure that you're going to get it done. The other word, again, exclusive, means limited to a select group of people. And then obtrusive is something that is noticeable, listen to what I'm saying, in an unpleasant way. Something that you notice that is either offensive, and again, that word offensive is different for everyone. I'm not offended by what a lot of people are offended by. Some people might say, oh, he's weak because he's offended by that. I have no right to call someone weak because they are offended by something that I have dealt with, or I have resilience or perseverance with. So when you talk to people, stop expecting people to be just like you.
We're not made from the same cookie cutters.
Yeah, you project a lot. And when you're disappointed in someone that you don't even know, it's because they're not the person that you want them to be, but you're just getting to know them. That is wild. How you expect someone to resonate with you right away. Oh, he's the one. Oh, she's the one. Why? Because she's listening to you? Because he's listening to you? What's the agenda behind it?
I'm just saying definitions are important. Definitions are important.
Be
Like
inclusive.
you got to understand the origins of a word before you use it.
Yeah.
Please screenshot your screen before we get off. Okay. Cool.
One thing I wanted to point out is my English might not be the same as your guys' English.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true. And you know what? The English language, for you guys that don't know, it was created in a way that many scholars can tell where you're from, where were you educated, what part of the United States you're from, right? If they could tell your heritage, they could tell your culture, they could tell your nationality, they could tell a lot just by the words that you choose, because certain words are used in different regions, right? So again, the more vocabulary you know, the less people will try to detect who you are in an inadvertent way. You are encouraging people to come to you and ask you questions because they can't read you, because they cannot project on you, because they don't know what's going to happen next. Why? Because you're not linear. You're open to certain things. People are very afraid of people that are open-minded because they're not.
Ooh.
Think about that.
Oh Jesus. Yeah,
I did a whole workshop on languages and sentence structure and what that means about it. You could tell all the stuff you said, but I used my powers for evil back then. But I was able to pick out character traits just in how they formulated the answers to their questions, or how they spoke, or the words they chose, because you can say the same thing 100 different ways depending on the words you pick. It'll tell me where you're coming from. And a lot of people don't give credence to that when you are having dialogue with someone. This is why the boundaries matter, because even if somebody sees it, it ain't but so much you're gonna let them have. But if I see it with no boundaries, I get to manipulate the hell out of you if I want to.
You don't have to
Because you didn't have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You don't have to stand tall. You just need to stand up.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. If a person wasn't so self-centered and now they're selfish, you get to see things in other people. Like, for instance, you know how important it is to notice when someone is frustrated because they can't express themselves, and you can find out if it's either a vocabulary, an emotional trigger, right? Right away, you want to say, "Oh, you're emotionally triggered." No, my vocabulary is not up to par. Now you're going to give the wrong advice. You got to work on your emotions. No, you got to work on your vocabulary level. Read the dictionary. You know how powerful it is to read the dictionary? Pronunciation, enunciation. I hear people all the time using the wrong word in their sentence. It makes me want to just go over there and poke them in the eye. You understand what I'm saying?
Chaps your ass, doesn't it? Chaps your ass, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? I understand spelling, but understand that.
Can you
And
be
I'm
a
not
bit more
frowning.
specific about that?
Well, real quick, I'm not frowning. I'm not
Not
frowning
a
on
problem,
nobody,
Cash.
right? We all mispronounce. We all misspell. We all
Every time.
articulate, right? We all do this. But it's those that catch themselves and ask the question, did I say that wrong? Let me look that up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because especially for those that don't like to be corrected, if you don't like to be corrected, then why are you not correcting yourself?
Right.
And to add to that, when you really start understanding, wanting to understand self mastery, you learn that you have to dive much deeper. Factually speaking, English is one of the lowest vibrational languages on the planet that is
It
that is
is.
that is spoken, and the elites understand this and know this. So in self mastery, you come to learn by studying and doing the work that it's not just the comprehension of words, it's the etymology of the words you're using. So when someone says, in their attempt to speak about words and spells and dot dot dot, a lot of those individuals truly don't understand what they're talking about, even though it is a very factual statement. Words are spells, and the creator of the English language understood that, which is why a lot of us unknowingly are constantly casting horrible spells on our lives, on ourselves every day, because you're not
Absolutely.
understanding the etymology and the frequency of the words that you're using. And when people say it's hard to do this, it's absolutely going to be hard. And you know what else? You're making it worse because you do not yet still understand what you're doing and what you're consuming. Because again, it goes back to that sensory input. We've been trained to rely heavily on the sensory input, and that keeps you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, energetically enslaved and doing the bidding to your master's will. And if you think you are not mastered, you're very confused about that.
Right. Real quick. So I just want to add the last part so I can make this full circle. A connecting relationship. You ready for this? A connecting relationship. What does that look like? It usually means that you're in tune with that person on a deeper level and you understand one another in a way you might not do with others.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Sometimes there is no need to even speak to the other person to understand their feelings. That's a connection. Not everything, your only point of contact or communication cannot be verbal in order for you to have a connection. It's impossible. If the only thing y'all do is talk and take turns talking, yeah, that's great. Hey, we're shooting the shit. We're having a great conversation. We're exchanging ideas. But that's not a deep rooted connection. That's not a in tune. That's not a vibration. You understand what I'm saying? That it's just not. It's not a connection, and you need to understand that if you feel the same way about everyone and everybody that you are in tune, if you feel that you're in tune with everyone, if you feel that you're connected to everyone, then you are sadly mistaken.
Thank you guys. Appreciate that. You guys on the blocking
I would
crazy
actually,
today.
I would actually want to caution you from even considering connecting to everyone, because you might be harboring energy that you don't really understand and attaching
That is
yourself to a
very much
frequency
so.
that you're not ready to be in.
Very much so.
Very
Very much
true.
so. Listen, this was great, guys. Great live. Amazing, amazing live. Coaches, stick around because I want you guys to give everybody what you guys in regards to your coaching styles and what you guys offer. Kat, Sally, I appreciate you guys coming up for the first time. You guys are truly amazing. We truly appreciate you for engaging with us. If you
You
have
guys are
anything to
awesome.
say, thank you. If you guys have anything to say before you guys jump down, go right ahead. Okay. No? All right. Okay. So I appreciate you guys. We're going to drop you guys down and we're just going to give our closing. You guys have a good one, okay?
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. All right, guys. We are at the end. And like I said, this live was going to be amazing. I already knew it was, especially with the fact that he brought that intrusive thing. I wasn't expecting that. He kind of threw that. That was an alley-oop in regards to that one. So I do appreciate you bringing that because that kind of wrapped all of it together. And that kind of wraps up the conversation of attachment styles for the month. So I appreciate everybody that came through every week in regards to the conversation. You guys are truly, truly amazing, and I really appreciate you guys. So I'm gonna let the coaches take the floor. For them to let you guys know what they do and what they offer. So Hormiga, if you want to go first.
Sure. My name is Anthony Manzanet, better known as Ormiga on social media.
Okay.
I am a transition coach. What does that mean? I help you get from point A to point B, from point B to point C. I help you discover all the things that you may need to leave behind that are hindering your progress to go forward. I may have you look at yourself in a different perspective, because what is perspective? Perspective is looking at the situation from the outside in, and perception is more internal. Those are more your beliefs, your cores, and everything else that comes with it. I would just like to say to everyone, the more you learn, the more you understand. And if you're having problem expressing yourself, it's because there's a confidence lack there somewhere. The confidence could be from a lot of things. It could be from a trigger. It could be from lack of vocabulary, lack of understanding. But I want you to know that you are in control of your own education. You are in control of your own learning process. Never feel as though you know more than someone else, because that's why they made those commercials. You can learn a lot from a dummy. All right, so I'll leave you with very, very simple words today. I wish everybody the best. I want to thank everybody for coming in, the coaches, my peers. You know, we doing this, you know, and I feel great about this. Every Saturday dedicated to being here for you guys. Do yourself the favor and do the same for you, and you'll see how fast you'll grow.
We're going on 4 years in April.
That's a long time.
Going on
Wow.
right. So go ahead. Let's give it to Tanya. I see Tanya pop. She popped you open. She unmuted. So go ahead, Tanya. Go for it.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining this amazing conversation. I'm Coach Tanya B of Wellness Elevated on Purpose, and I am the Monumental Certified Nutritional Wellness Coach. My focus is leveling up your nutritional and health and wellness mindset. If you're not following me, you should. And you can find me in the Monumental Discord. And I do monthly Q&As and give you the answers on how you should get your nutritional health in place so you can build an amazing mental health mindset. And that's it.
God damn, that was amazing.
That was good.
That elevated pitch was amazing. I got to work on mine now. Who going next? Me?
If you want to go next, go for it.
I'll go next. So everybody that's been rocking with us, some of y'all been on here since the beginning. We appreciate you guys. Those of you who are experiencing us for the first time, this means a lot as we grow here as a platform and as individuals. Like Sweet Tea always says, we're human too, so we get just as much from you as you get from us. My name is Coach Derek, and I am a certified healing journey coach and relationship coach, and I help adults over 30 figure out their relationship related trauma, and I help you heal from it so that you show up better in your single life, dating, marriage, any type of relationship that you're in, not situationships though. Um, I just help you get there. And I realized that all of the relationship and dating coaching I could give you means nothing if you're still dealing with some core wounds. So I help you get there first. And that's pretty much what I do. I have, you can find, oh, how can I say this? In my bio, the information to I'm trying not to say the words to figure out what I do and what I offer, and at the very least, inbox me here and just say, hey, coach, I need help, but I just don't know where to start, and we'll go from there. So that's all I got. And I'm in the Mind Your Mental community as well. So y'all need to get in there. If you do nothing else, get in there anyway, because we're human. We are born on this earth to interconnect with other humans. So let's do it. So that's all I got.
I appreciate you. Venus?
Peace, peace. This has been another amazing hashtag MYM episode. Um, Thank you all so much for being here. Infinite gratitude to all of the coaches and mentors. I am Venus Scott. I'm an expert self-mastery mentor and educator. And in this world, once you reach a mature mental age, you're either going to do two things. You're going to master self or be mastered. And so in my self-mastery mentoring and education, I teach individuals how to better understand themselves on a metaphysical level, a physical level, and a spiritual level. My core focus, of course, is in attracting and manifesting. And I do that by teaching you principles of not only universal laws that govern us, cognitive behavior. I study neuroscience. I come from a perspective of psychology, cognition, behavioral sciences, things of that nature, to better give you an understanding of who you are so you can eventually intentionally learn how to attract and manifest, in which you're already doing. I just help you become more intentional about doing it. So instead of attracting what and who you don't desire, you can position yourself to attract what and who you do desire. And every Thursday, I am the visionary of ATM, which is All Things Mastery Master Lives. I go live every Thursday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I teach on various of topics to give you the tips, tools, and techniques that you need, as all of the coaches do. So if you feel that it's something that you want to learn more from or learn more of, feel free to message me through the MYM Discord or through my inbox.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Venus. Reyes, go for it, brother man.
All right, I am John. I am an awareness guide that helps you take control of your life. If you're on autopilot, it's time to put you back in the driver's seat, grab the sticks, and figure out who you are. More recently, I am working on a book that should be out very soon that'll give you a full perspective and insight on my philosophy on the world as I see it. And I hope to be able to guide you guys back to who you truly are, because you matter as another part of humanity. And I think together we can elevate humanity by finding out who our true selves really are.
Appreciate you, brother man. Appreciate you, brother man. And I am Coach Emmanuel P. or Emmanuel Pierre, published author and
Do the mirror,
of,
bro. Mirror the screen.
This mirror thing is driving me insane. Hold on. Wait. Is it working? Am I here? Yeah. That's this one. That's one.
You good?
Cool. All right, cool. So my name is Coach Emmanuel P. I am your discipline and confidence coach. Also the published author of Mind Your Mental. If you haven't purchased this amazing book, yes, I'm going to throw myself out there, then you need to definitely cop the book. The book itself is to hold you accountable into your process of healing, into your journey. And if you're already a part of your process, and you're already on your journey, this will give you a different perspective that you probably haven't even thought of. I've had people come in and tell me that they read the book and it helped their relationship, it helped their marriage, and it also helped them understand a perspective about themselves that they didn't even think about. Me as a discipline and confidence coach, I will assist you with understanding your self-worth, and implementing the tips and tricks and tools that you learn from all of these amazing this way or that way, this way. All of these amazing coaches, and you'll get all the tips and tricks you learn from all of these amazing coaches, and really implement it into your lifestyle. Okay, I'm gonna give you the tools in regards to being confident within yourself. I'm giving you the tools to be disciplined within all of your learnings and all of the things that were taught to you, in order that way you can walk around in life confident and whole. That is my job as a coach. If you're not following all of these amazing people, make sure you guys are following everybody here. Follow me. Follow the people in the chat. I'm telling you, if you haven't joined the community yet, I promise you, you will not be disappointed with what you see. Okay? Make sure you guys definitely join the MYM community. And we're going to give it to the technical director. This mirroring is driving me insane.
I am T. I am the technical director of the Mind Your Mental Discord. I do a lot of work behind the scenes, pushing myself a little more forefront as the days go. Like I said before, your mental health is not just a 3-hour live on a Saturday. It's not just, hey, I had a fun discussion last Saturday, or I had a fun discussion this morning. It's 7 days a week. Working on you is 7 days a week. It is a lifestyle change. If you are looking to make that lifestyle change and start working on you, the Discord is where you need to be at. I would be remiss if I didn't include Tamika, who is our holistic shaman of the Discord. She's not here right now, but she is also part of that. Again, 7 different ways to work on your mental health. 7. The lucky number. Lucky number 7. If you want to be intentional, you want to work on yourself, you want to get started on your mental health journey, no better way to do it than to join the Discord. We have so many resources, so many different ways to take care of your mental health. It's up to you. I put it in your hands. The Discord is free, Gemini. Free. The Discord is free. Not everything that is offered from these coaches is free, but the Discord itself is free.
Mm-hmm.
These coaches have their own coaching techniques and areas in which they do charge for their services, but joining the Discord is absolutely free. So if you are interested, download the Discord app from your app store and then click on the join Mind Your Mental community, and you will be able to get in. It's a beautiful place to be. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I see it on a 7-day-a-week basis. I see people uplifting each other. I see people engaging. I see people showing up for themselves. So if you want to be part of that, please do.
Appreciate that, Ben. Appreciate that. I'm telling you guys, you're missing out. I'm just telling you guys, you're missing out. And Gumbo could tell you himself. He was skeptical at first, and then he seen how everything laid out, and he was like, "Wow."
Yeah. It's definitely extremely unique in what we do and how we've aligned things, and I implore anyone to take, even if you just come in just to kind of see what it looks like, I would at least do that, because here's the thing, right? Most of us are living life, functioning every day, knowing that we need to work on things, knowing that we need to heal in certain spaces, and we just keep going and we keep going unchecked. This is also a space for accountability because some of us need it. We need a place to check in, and we do a check in, every week just for that purpose. So do not, I always say on my show, stop rescheduling your healing. It's not a New Year's resolution. It's a lifestyle change. And on the other side of this, we're ongoing in our healing journeys, but your life changes, your vision changes, the way the way you attach or connect to people changes. It all changes, but it needs you to change first. So I'm telling you right now, like he said, I avoided it because I was in my own head about like, yeah, I'm not joining something else. But then when I got in there, I was like, I need to be here. So come on in and click the link in his bio, download the Discord app first, then click the link that says join the community, and it'll give you an invitation, and you get right in there, and you'll be in there with us. So come on in.
Stop surviving. Stop living in survival mode. Start thriving.
Absolutely. And I changed the wording to some of the stuff in my link tree. So it says download Discord app on there, and it says join the community, so you guys know exactly where to go. Okay. I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to join the community, message me, message Sweet Tea. I promise you we'll get you in there. It might take a little bit of time if we're moving around, but we'll definitely get you there for sure, right? Simple as downloading the app. Okay, so download the app. Once you download the app and create your profile, I promise you that's where the process gets easier. Okay, once you do those first two steps, download the app, create your profile. If the link in my bio does not work, which it should, let us know. Make sure you're copying the link and putting it into your web browser. Do not just click on it. You click on it, it's not going to work. But if you put it in your web browser, it goes straight through, and it'll invite you into the Discord. Okay, we'll get a notification when somebody joins the Discord. We're monitoring that, so just keep that in mind.
And don't let the Discord overwhelm you. There is a whole Discord tutorial video that is formulated for our Discord. Tells you how to do absolutely everything. You know why? Because I'm a visual learner and I made it myself.
And shout out to Sweet Tea for creating our vision board for
With the help of
2025 as
Gumbo,
well.
because I needed that second. I needed that second set of 4 eyes.
Listen,
Yeah.
the way they put that video together, I couldn't do it on a good day. Okay, so that video came out truly amazing. There was a lot of work that was put into that, and one of the Alliance coach came in. Kamika, can you please come up real quick? Can you please come up if you can? If you are available to speak, definitely come up so people can know exactly what you do before we get out of here. We kind of gave you an introduction, but I think you can better give yourself a better introduction in regards to what you do. So definitely come on up in regards to that before I shut down.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
How are you? Hey, guys.
Hey. I know you were probably on a session. That's why I was like, let me see if he's available.
Actually, I'm spending some quality time with the husband.
Gotcha. All right, so can you kind of tell everybody what you do in regards to your coaching style? So that they have an understanding.
Owned by Chinese.
Sorry. My coaching style is I relate to people in the spiritual realm. I'm a shaman, so I do healing through sound, and I do utilize my mental health background in terms of helping people with regular coping skills. But I also help people when they're on their spiritual journeys or whenever they're waking up spiritually. Just kind of navigating through that kind of, I have to say, that's that scary type of the unknown and navigating the unknown and seeing which modality or who can actually help influence them better. Because I know a lot of different people who do different modalities in spirituality, not just shamans. You have people who practice different things, and then there's not everybody is a shaman. But we relate to people in the spiritual realm, and we connect people with their ancestors, meaning that we are able to hone in on certain things that other healers may not be able to do, just because we're just tapped in differently. Does that make sense?
Excellent. Makes perfect sense. Okay, so hold on. What did somebody say? Can y'all link two minds together? Because I think someone's in my head.
No, that person that's in your head is you.
Yeah, man, I was about to say that. What is that? Okay, so
You have to
for
understand
everybody,
that, the world is not 3D. We're multidimensional beings. And sometimes your past life, your past self may be talking to your present self, or your future self may be talking to your present self. And you have to understand that the universe and everything that we look for is already within, it's inside of you. Just tapping into your own potential is what people like myself, what we're here to do. We're not here to open up your stuff. I'm not saying I can open up anybody's gifts. I can't do that. That takes work on your part.
right, absolutely. So for anybody that already downloaded the Discord app, right, and created their profile, you go into my link tree and you copy the link to the actual Discord, and you put it into your web browser, and you will get an invite from the Discord, so that way you can jump into the community. But I need to get some food in my system, and I am starving. So
Ditto.
so I appreciate everybody that came through, everybody that supported. I want you guys to understand, to be intentional about you, to be intentional about your process of healing, be intentional about this thing that you learn, and be intentional about the people that you get information from. Be intentional about that. Okay. Be mindful that not everybody is a teacher, and not everybody is for you, but the people that are for you will be here for you. If you join this community, you'll have a community of people that will be here for you. Not just the coaches, but the people that are on the same journey as you. You know what I'm saying? You have to be on the same journey as you. And you got 135 other people within that community that are on the same journey as you. Think about that for a second. And they show nothing but love to each other every time. It never fails. We've never had an issue where somebody didn't show love to each other within the Discord. So if you did download the Discord, right? If you did download the Discord, make sure you message me if you're having an issue with the link, or message Sweet Tea, and we'll get you in there, okay? In a world full of negativity, make sure I choose love and love on purpose. Keep life simple. Love is the glue. Respect is the flavor. You dig, you dig, you dig. Make sure I live within your value energy. And I pity the fool who doesn't mind their mental. Peace.